I'm scarred for life, but I'm set for life, and I'm set for life, but I'm scarred for life. And I'm coming at you. I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking psycho, fucking insane. That's the fucking chorus right there.
You nailed it, dude. You nailed it. You nailed it. And you visually transformed into fucking Joe Rogan. There,
You
dude.
did.
You fucking,
Joe Rogan. Yeah.
yeah, you did. You visually transformed yourself into Joe Rogan. It was amazing.
You're watching the Bigroom live on Twitch. You're the Bigroom. You're watching the Bigroom live on Twitch.
Yeah.
I love it.
Live on Twitch. Yeah.
Oh, it gets me. I kind of keep forgetting that it's coming, and then it hits me,
But-
and then I sing it for 4 days,
Right.
and then I forget about it for 3 days, and then
Right,
I start
and
up,
boom.
and I'm
Yes.
like, boom, I'm Joe Rogan, and I'm just in awe.
The perfect
Of the rev.
168-hour cycle.
Yeah, there you go. Fast math from BB Rumble.
That's what I do.
I'm the monk, and you're back at the Big Room, baby, where you can win Big Room bucks, and you can trade it in for God knows what.
Oh,
but you
so
can
many
also
things.
trade so many things. So, like, again, only God knows all the so many things. But also you can trade in your Benjamins for such things as this, and tell us what to do. Did you always want to tell us what to do? I bet
Right.
you have. And you can tell us what to
And
drink.
You can ask us as well as
You can ask us,
Which
like
one
things
is-
are,
what
are
are you
you drinking?
drinking?
Right? And then you'd say, let me tell you what you're drinking. And it would go to our Go Drunk Me account. And you could go to our GoFundMe Drunk Me account and tell us how to spend your money to tell us what we're drinking. But look at this, though. Look at this.
Oh yeah, it's like yes.
See that? See that?
That's got to
prison?
be some gin, right?
It is. But look at that frosted mug.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
nice
That's fine.
frozen frosted mug.
It reminds me of my Siberian prison time.
Yep. Yep. Didn't have any
Yeah,
gin
it's
up
gin.
there,
It's
though.
Sir Burnett's extra dry London gin.
You couldn't get the gin up in Siberia.
Mm-mm. Oh no. Nope. You just drink vodka and
Or bathtub.
believe
Bathtub gin. Toilet
bathtub.
gin.
Right. It's well, top shelf, which is the top tank.
Yeah. The top tank. Yeah. The upper
It's top
decker.
shelf
The
toilet
upper
gin.
decker home, yeah.
Upper deck gin.
The home of the upper decker.
BB Rumble, everybody. BB is just back from Grand Adventures that we're looking to.
Yes.
Well, I'm looking for them to share with us. So we
Super
know.
fun adventure. Super fun.
Tell us about your super fun adventures.
It was a good time. It was Thursday through Monday. Just got home yesterday.
Yeah.
Just got home yesterday. But we had 5 days at the University of Maryland.
Interesting. I studied at a university in Maryland.
Was it
10,000 big room bucks. If you know what university I studied at in Maryland.
right? Yeah. This was the main campus of Maryland, where Bulldogs, I think it is.
I just learned a fun fact. The name Bulldogs is the most commonly used mascot name in the collegiate world.
Is it?
It is
Well, I was just there.
at the
I was
first.
just there. One of the originals, I think.
Yes, why not?
Another interesting bit of trivia, not at all related to Bulldogs, but I think Bulldogs.
That's weird.
Well, but we talk
That
about
is not.
Bulldogs, obviously, naturally for Bulldogs, the dwarves. So the thing
Similar
is,
looking.
right.
I'm not judging. I'm just
No,
making
not
it
at all.
observational.
I'm talking cartoonish.
Right.
Cartoonish. In the original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs,
Yes.
There's one of the dwarves
Whose name was?
that Snow White never refers to by name.
Ooh, what does it mean?
Yeah. Do you know which dwarf it is? This
Does
would
it
be
and it has a name?
well, you know the
The
seven
other
dwarves, right? You know the seven.
I sure
dwarves.
do. But I
It's
mean,
one of it-
you're saying the original story. I mean, is
No,
it
no,
one that was never given a name, or
no.
the other dwarves refer to him,
in the
but she does?
in the Disney
Oh, in the
cartoon
Disney.
movie.
I'm sorry.
In the Disney cartoon movie, the original
Wow.
cartoon movie, there's one dwarf
Yes,
that
I
Snow
do.
White never refers to by name.
Yes, I do.
Do you?
I know I have 1 in 7 chances of guessing.
You do have a 1 in 7 chance. That is correct. That is correct.
It's sloppy.
It's
It's Jokey Dwarf. Remember that Jokey Smurf?
I do.
He would blow people's faces. He would give mail bombs to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the actual answer is
Doc.
Daffy.
There is.
It's not Doc. It's not Doc.
And does she ever say dopey?
It's
Because
it's
you can't say dope.
It's not Dopey. No. She says Dopey.
Is it sorrow? Emo?
Is it Sourman?
Sourman? Yes. Is it dwarf who shall not be named?
No.
I don't know. Tell me.
Oddly enough, the answer is
What?
Happy. Never refers to Happy Dwarf by his name. Just calls him Punk.
What does it mean? Little punk.
He calls him Punk the whole time.
Little puss.
Hey, Punk.
Hey, stoner.
Hey, Stoner.
Yeah. Let's bring up a photo of Happy. If I recall, the image of Happy Dwarf is smelling a poppy flower.
Is it?
Let's see. Happy Deerf. Incorrect spelling. It's spelled dwarf. Okay, images. All right. There you go.
That's Happy?
That's Happy.
Okay.
Yeah, I pictured Happy a little more a cross between
Dopey and
no, what was the bowl that smelled the flowers in the Disney cartoon? Clarence.
Happy. Dopey.
Seeing that right there, I think I had like a sticker or something as a kid that had Happy, and it was written underneath it just like that. And see how he's holding that doobie?
Yeah.
He's pinching a roach.
No.
Or is he holding acid in his fingers? What's he holding? Is that some black tar? Black tar.
Oh boy.
Hash? He actually is holding something, isn't he?
If he's not, his hand is horribly deformed from.
Yeah, he's holding something. There, he's holding a gummy.
Yeah, he is. You're right. He is holding a little.
He's holding a gummy.
A little magic gummy there.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Awesome. I mean, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by it.
Oh, so this is what I was picturing. This one. Okay, hold on. That's who I was picturing. It's Happy.
Oh, that's not Happy though.
No, that's bashful.
That's bashful.
That's psychologically tormented. Low self-esteem dwarf.
Yeah.
Lack
of self-esteem dwarf.
Yep. I'm unworthy dwarf.
Always nervously playing with his beard.
And giving the horn hand of Satan.
Horn hand of Satan.
Into the belly button because it makes the ding dong feel weird. See?
Yeah.
All right.
And what is that? Wait, on the tape screen?
That dog?
Yep, bulldog, right?
What?
See the leap?
What? Not ding. Did you hear that?
I heard that.
The universe just said you saw it. The connection.
Boom.
You win. That just big room bucks from above.
There was definitely.
There it is. There it was. That's crazy. All right.
Yep.
So you were at the University of Bashful.
University of Bashful Bulldogs.
Bulldog.
Yeah, and it was a interesting conference.
And what were you conferring?
Well,
It was work
as I had said previously,
on LA Law.
On LA Law.
On Hill Street Blues.
As I had relayed the stories earlier today.
I wasn't there.
No, you weren't. But just a different element of some of my existence. It was the MSC conference, which is basically a educational
motherfucker conference.
MSS.
Oh, muscular sexuality conference.
Close. No, but it's basically an educational group on power exchange relationships, or your basic master slave type.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really.
Oh, this makes more sense.
Yeah, this
Right.
This makes more sense.
Gotcha. So it wasn't work related. It was kink related.
Yes.
Kink community. Oh, great. Right on. Do you know that there is something called Reef?
Is there more to that? No.
No, just leave that. It is the Rochester Erotic Arts Festival.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And I was selected as their Artist of the Year a couple years back. Yes,
nice.
Indeed.
This is
these.
It's part of the. It's called the group. The group that runs it is called MAST, MAST.
Mm-hmm.
And they're whatever you call it, 50, whatever it is, 501c charity thing, whatever. Yeah, whatever the numbers are for the official designation of a charitable organization.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
the 501c3.
Is that what it is? 501c3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's what they are. And basically it was just Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They had over. It was a huge conference space. Had over 100 different classes, and speakers.
Bondage.
But not just that sort of thing, but also like much more. Every year they have a different theme, to the conference, and this one was diversity. So they had classes on entire classes that were just dedicated to power exchange relationships with disabilities. People in wheelchairs, people with developmental disabilities. Where do you draw the line? Where do you things like that. They have classes on healthy objectification, and just a whole bunch of different.
That's fascinating.
It was very, very interesting. It was very interesting. There's a friend, on you may have seen it. She's commented on some of my. There's a Trisha, from New Jersey, that I've known for about 8 or 9 years now.
Mm-hmm.
She lives in New Jersey, and her and I have been involved in this sort of thing for the last 8 or 9 years. And she's around my age. She's around 50 or so. And when she was 38 or 39, she had a stroke. So she's in a wheelchair as well. And the left side of her body is kind of locked up, her left arm and left leg. But she's very active in the community out there in New Jersey. I've gone to a bunch of their meetings on Zoom. Some kind of part of their group out there. And so her and her group went, and then we went out there as well, and so I got to meet all of them in person, and they just met a ton.
They made
of
them
people.
do things. It was great.
Yeah. A little bit now.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, the shows only run until midnight or so, so there's always a few hours
Right.
afterwards for the time. But I mean, they had really, met a bunch of very interesting people that did not know before. That connected with them and got to talk to them and stuff. It was very intriguing.
Yeah.
And they had like dinners. They had like a certain number of dinners that you could choose to go to if you wanted to, where they had speakers and stuff, and they always have a contest for Master Slave of the Year contest and different awards.
I thought they would force you to eat whatever food they wanted you to have.
No.
Or not force you, I'm sorry, direct you into having. Make you believe that you want the meals that they're serving.
Yeah.
It's not a buffet. It's a buffet of,
Yeah. It's not how many donuts you want to eat.
It's all you
can
eat.
But yeah, so we had a really fun time.
It's really cool.
Yeah, very. They had like a whole photography display area set up with this famous photographer who took pictures of a lot of the different famous clubs and dungeon scenes and whatnot. So they had all those on display, and they had like a marketplace, of course. We could get all kinds of different stuff, and had an auction. I won a couple things, won a couple cool things. I won a
Cockring Warehouse certificate.
No, liquor, alcohol.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I won a
I noticed you changed the word from liquor to alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol.
Liquor.
Yeah, I got some good black dirt apple brandy. With,
Nice.
A nice glass decanter and glasses and homemade tray, serving tray.
Are you wearing the glasses now?
No, not those.
Okay. I mean, they're black.
And then
I couldn't tell if they're made out of dirt from here or not. But... No.
I have to try the apple brandy. I haven't tried it yet.
Well, which leads me to a question.
I don't have anything yet.
I've been pondering.
Nothing yet.
What are you gonna be drinking?
Granted, they're only working on it. It's in process of being made.
Nice.
Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't know why. What do I have that's not open?
Dirt brandy.
Oh, probably something that's open.
Ooh, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be.
Let's see. Let's do this.
You know what's interesting? Over here,
Woodford and some Amara would be great.
Nice. I was looking at the blue Curacao.
Some Woodford with some Amara for a Black Manhattan. Yeah. So what were you saying, Steve?
Blue Curacao.
Yeah. That was one of the premier ingredients in one of Karen's favorite.
Say martini. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. The bottom is not. It's a different bottle. All right. Word.
Yeah, black dirt.
How's Dameron feeling?
Good. He's still every so often, falling off into choking fits. Just because he gets irritation in his chest. So he'll just.
I thought you were like.
Yeah. Goes off in this spiral of coughing and choking.
Cough attack.
Yeah. But yeah, but he's doing well. He's going to be joining us because I'll be gone the next 2 Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, because him and Adrian will be joining us down in Florida for
a
week of the
conservative
Disney time,
convention, the
right?
MAGA convention.
Mag of the MAGA Star Wars convention.
MAGA opus.
Yeah.
Manga. That's not MAGA, it's manga. How many times I gotta
I
tell these
tell you,
people?
it's manga. It's
Manga. Jesus. We gotta change the
God.
color of our hats.
Yeah, it's I think that's what's wrong going on.
But it's Shogun Warrior Red. They
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know
it's
that.
nice.
They don't know that it's Shogun Warrior Dragon Red.
Right, Star Dragon.
It's awesome with the nipples on her suit. The nipples on her suit.
All right.
Pre-Batman
Yeah, so
nipples.
and then they had some cigar parties down there, and they had a drum ritual that Karen got to enjoy.
Neat.
Yeah. And what else did they have? Oh, bunch of movie nights and stuff like that. So it was a good time. It was a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Dave did not go to this one.
No.
Yep.
No.
Okay.
Are you what? Yeah, the drums were struggling, to get rolling. They were because they only had like two. They had one guy that's pretty good at drumming. There's actually a funny story behind that, because he was drumming and they only had a certain number of drums, and I didn't even tell Dave this story yet, or Adrian. You can just let it get cold. I don't need it to be like hand of Dave.
Cheers.
The hand of Dave rock.
Oh, I better take a set. Higher.
And and also just a quick shout out to Adrian. I hear she injured some stitches or something like that. She okay? She gonna be all right? All right. Anti-Flag T-shirt I saw there. That's a old Pittsburgh punk band.
The anti-flag or black flag?
I thought it was an anti-flag shirt he was wearing.
What shirt are you wearing, Dave? Anti-flag. Yeah, you're right.
Does he know that's a Pittsburgh? I think they're originally from Pittsburgh.
They're originally from Pittsburgh. Yes, they are. Yep, they are.
That's right.
But yeah, so they were having some trouble getting the drum jam going. Because there was one guy who was a decent drummer, and then there was a girl there that was okay, but didn't really seem to get into it. And there was they had a few extra drums.
Yep. And some people are just drawn to them.
Yeah, they would hand out. Yeah, they'd be like, anybody who wants to play, just join. That's what it's all about.
They shouldn't use the word anybody.
Yeah.
But that's what it's about.
A djembe.
The djembe.
The djembe.
Yeah.
That's the good drummer. But anyway, so these had some extra drums. They handed out to whoever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, whoever wants to join in, come and get them.
Mr. Rhythm came along.
And so this one girl.
Oh, it's a girl.
No. The one girl picked up a drum, but she was fine. It was a larger drum. That she just laid down on the. That was the djembe. She kind of like put the djembe down and got on top of it and just started playing it.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Right.
And but then there was this other guy.
But then there was this other guy, Captain Rhythm.
We called him Captain Rhythm, and he literally
more like Captive Rhythm.
Yeah, he was. I would think that at a base level, if you got a drum and you're not entirely sure what to do with it, that one, you just find a simple, steady. Just at least do that. Yeah, at least do that, right? That'd be one. And two, taking one into consideration, I would imagine, I would like to believe, I would have believed prior to this last journey that a single individual on a drum
Uh-huh.
could only disrupt things so much that the rest of the group in unison would be able to overwhelm whatever disruption this single individual would cause. But this individual was just a single, very small little
Noisy gong.
handheld drum, little handheld drum that he would hold in one hand and hit with his other hand.
Uh-huh.
He was holding it
Yeah, like that.
this the whole time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he would try,
Yeah, he would try to hit it, and it was
and sometimes it would be like this.
Uh.
Sometimes it would be.
and a lot of times he would do that. He would, oh wait, where did I hit?
Wait, am I gonna miss it? It's coming around again. I bet. No, wait, there it is. No, I missed. Oh, wait. I just.
It was unbelievable how much.
Should I?
Oh, wow. Born with it. Some people are born with it.
Some people were just born with them. Yeah, but dude, this guy for 45 minutes, and nobody.
40. How long?
It was an hour and a half long thing that it ran, and for a solid 45 minutes.
They couldn't get it away from this person.
Well, no one. The vibe was not at all.
I know.
You know, yeah.
I know. It's all inclusive. It's to align vibrations, and they attempted for 45 minutes to align their vibrational pattern.
It was impossible. I mean, it was so bad.
Well, maybe in another 12 of these conventions,
he'll pick something up,
a beat.
Nah, but
so was this the different drummer that people dance to?
I don't know.
He is the different drummer to dance to the different drummer. This is the different drummer.
Yeah, he is a different drummer. And then the one guy that was good, the best drummer that was there, attempted to give his drum to somebody else to try to get more people involved. And then he went over and he started drumming on his slave's ass. So so she just got down on her knees and bottomless, and he started playing the ass, and which was still could not overcome this guy. And then finally the guy, like, he himself, I guess, grew tired of it, and he left. And I said, I'll bet you everything gels right now. And so he left, and the girl who was kind of leading the class, who wasn't great, but I mean, she was really able to definitely keep a beat. She was sitting there. She was sitting there. She said, she's like, well, this is this is one of the first times that I'm not sure what to say or where to go now. It's and I guess that she was a music professor in her everyday life, and which is super interesting. And she there's a difference between a music
professor and a professional.
Because she was keeping a beat and not using fills.
Right.
Right.
Profession and professional.
Right.
Professor and professional. Two different things.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
And so then that's when Karen got up there to start dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other guy who had initially been drumming on the ass had moved back onto a real drum. And then
hey. Don't call an ass not a real drum.
Yeah. And then they started vibing off of each other. So Karen was dancing and that guy was playing and the other people were, and everything came together fantastically at that point.
Right.
And so we got a good 35 to 40 minutes of actual good drumming with people then getting up to dance and join Karen. And
it's impressive you stayed 45 minutes.
Yeah,
waiting for that moment.
It was a good time. It was the vibe was still good.
Gotcha. Okay, good.
Yeah, it was just like, and there was definitely just a factor of, wow, he is so bad. It's like
Do
one
you
of
think
those
it was
things
an Andy Kaufman maneuver?
no, it wasn't because no, it
You
wasn't.
sure?
Yeah,
Are
because
you sure?
I saw him throughout. If he was genius. Because I saw him. I saw him throughout the weekend.
Did he also bump into walls while he was walking down the corridors?
Yeah, no, he tripped all the time.
Did he have an eye patch and a cork on the end of his fork?
No, he had a very
Not mother.
he had a very Sheriff of Nottingham look to him.
Oh, from again a Disney reference.
Yes, yeah, a very Sheriff of Nottingham.
It was that guy's voice, right?
Yeah, I never heard him speak once.
Oh
Through
well,
the-
the sheriff of Nottingham, but
Yeah, him. I never heard this guy speak
Been there.
once.
This guy's he did.
Yeah.
He spoke through the language of music.
Music and yeah. So he was pretty great. But yeah, so that was a good night. That was a fun night. That was a fun night. And yeah, and
It'd be awesome if he was
the
a
other
professor
girl
of
that was
music
playing
theory.
the drum.
Just a theory.
Oh, that would
I
be good.
believe music is more of a. It's not a real thing.
It's more of a
just theory.
theoretical thing. No one's
Music.
proven its existence as of yet. We just have we call various noises music, and that's what I like to show. I like to show how any music is really nothing more than noise. And
maybe it was like the grandson of Ornette Coleman. This is an inside joke to all you jazz heads out there. There you go. Ornette Coleman, birth of free jazz. There was a free jazz was the movement, and it was hard on the ears.
Hard, right.
Hard on the ears. It was free form, free jazz. Ornette Coleman.
Yeah, but yeah, so I will probably look at going again next year at some point, just because.
Hold on? Let me give you a little bit of free jazz here for a sec. Hear that drum? There you go. Yeah.
And then
For 37 minutes.
I was just say half hour.
It's about the same amount of time.
Oh,
Who knew it was improvisation?
by the Ornette Coleman double quartet.
Yeah. But yeah, the birth of free jazz. There you go. Yeah, free jazz album 1961. So there you go. Yeah, it's good. Throw that in your joke repertoire next time you tell the story.
Yeah. 61 years ago.
His name tag said Ornette Coleman. I'll never forget his name and see who notices.
His name is Ornette Coleman.
His name is Ornette Coleman.
But yes, that's what I did this weekend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Good times. And the serving tray that I got that I won in my auction.
Oh, you won a serving tray.
A serving tray with apple brandy.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But it was on an actual tray?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the tray was made by the reigning slave of the year. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Which I didn't even know. I didn't even know when I bid on it.
I know,
Slave. This is cool.
Remember that? Slave. Oh, slave.
Yeah. Oh, slave.
David Cross.
Yeah.
Like chewed
Why
glass
was he
or
the slave again?
I don't know, something like he did something like he saved his life, and you have to be if I chew this
eat the
thing, you
glass,
have to be my
yeah.
slave for a day. Say it. If I chew this, you have to. It's fine. Okay.
Okay. And what did you do this week? Anything fun?
I always do fun things,
What was it? Slept.
madam. I do nothing professionally. I only do
Yeah,
things for
okay,
fun.
Rock.
10,000 Bigroom bucks. Who's that quote?
I can't remember what it was.
Madam, I do nothing professionally. I only do things for fun.
Huh.
It's only 10,000. It's ad hoc. Where's ad hoc? We'll ask him later when he shows up.
No,
Yeah,
he's going
maybe.
to know. You say he's going to know?
I think so.
Is he?
I think he's the
definitely
only person in the big room that would know. Maybe Lar might know. So
That's
there's a
a
hint
prince,
for you.
That's a prince.
What? How'd you know? Let's see. Yeah, Black Cat Moan played a lot this month, so it was really interesting. We opened up for the Bastard Bearded Irishman in Pittsburgh a couple weeks back, and then the following week we played at a wine festival, and then or a winery, and then we played the next day at the Greensburg Music Festival, which is going to explode in the years to come. Just a great event. Adam Fitz helped organize it. And that was fantastic, actually.
Cool.
That's what I played before your surprise birthday. They wanted us to do a headline spot, and I was like, nope.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
we did a one. They still paid us handsomely for a 1 p.m. slot. But
Nice.
it was great. It was fantastic. And then had a great evening with Joe. And then the last weekend was the Ethnic Festival. So Black Cat Moan played Friday night. I'll say headlined because we were last. We played Friday night. And then Saturday, we stayed at Lar's that night.
Okay, yeah.
The kids, the Chillins came in. And I didn't stay over there that night. They did because I helped, tear down and stuff like that. And they swam the next day, and I came there for that. And then I drove them back to the Berg, and Rebecca helped out at the festival. And Dan, Sunday, I drove back in and performed with the Voma House Band, and we did a blues gathering set, and then we performed the Doors' final album, LA Woman, in its entirety. And we had a sponsor for that. That's what their request was. So they had a big sponsor for that. And it was Scott Jeffries on bass, of course.
Right.
Randy Penrod on guitar.
Oh, yeah, I
Girl
know.
on another guitar. You don't know these names?
No, I know both those names. Yeah.
Yeah. Michael McKetta on keys, which as Raymond's Eric, that's not no easy task. He was great. And then Dave DiStefano on drums.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he played drums for the whole night. Now he's played with Black Cat Moan in festivals on drums a couple times. I think a total of like 4 or 5 times. But he said it's been a long time since he played drums, for a whole evening. And he was fantastic. He was great. It was great, because
Nice.
again, the drummer for the Doors was no slouch, But yeah, that was really awesome. And then today was an interesting day. It was an interesting day of oh wait, before I get to today. So, and then Monday morning, so I stayed that night in Johnstown because I helped tear down everything. And before going to bed, I hit the sheets, got a big old hoagie and a bunch of fries because that's what I like, French fries after a night of drinking beer and playing the blues.
Sure.
And I slept at the folks' house in a small room with the air conditioning unit, and didn't sleep awesome. Didn't have my pillows or anything like that. Woke up several times kind of like throaty and snoring really loud, like dry in throat and snoring. When the morning came, like my uvula was like my pinky
Yes.
hanging down. It was swollen red, kind of bloody on the sides, and it was so
Oh,
it
no.
was so it woke, dude. It was so inflamed and swollen and long that I thought like I could think I had like phlegm that I was bringing up. I would bring it up, and it would lay across my tongue so long I could have chewed on it if I wanted to. That's how long, like with my molars. It was that immense. I know, and I couldn't get a good photo of it. Oh, I tried. Oh, you would have loved it. You would... Let's see.
Oh no.
It's still kind of large. Get it. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it. Hold on.
Oh man.
It might still. This morning, it still had some discoloration. Oh, come on, light bulb. There we go. It's pretty tiny comparatively.
Oh yeah, yeah. It doesn't look great. Have you
had a surgeon remove that for you,
Yeah.
dear God?
Have you had anyone look into that at all?
This seems to be actually freaking you out. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, it can't be normal, right? I mean, that's not normal.
So I immediately looked it
No
up
one would consider that normal
that morning.
right?
Yeah, what would cause that? I was like, oh man. So and there was a list of things, short list, like 7 things, but it was like
Right.
Allergy and snoring. And so I think there was like all that salt. I'm not used to consuming that much salt and vinegar, right? And
A combination.
yeah, in my day-to-day life, it's very rare that I binge like that. You know what I mean? Where I had like peppers, like vinegary peppers on the sub, you know what I mean? And then
Right.
a bucket of fries with ketchup, and I think I even got more peppers from anyway. I think it was just that. And I don't eat a lot before a festival. So I think I was dehydrated from beer. I don't drink beer usually that much either.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I think it was just dehydrated, famished, sang a lot,
Right.
and then it had something in there that agitated. And then I slept like I don't sleep, and I snored, and it just rumbled and chewed it up.
I was
Anyway.
definitely dehydrated by Monday, just from being in the hotel and the conference center
That AC.
constantly.
Mhm.
Like just constantly in there. And and staying up a little later, waking up a little earlier, and and being
How's your
more-
uvula?
Not that. Definitely not that.
I could have chewed on it.
Yeah, that's so wrong.
It was so confusing. It was like a little penis
right. Here's one of my
or a huge clitoris.
new friends that I met.
Bab's uvula. Remember that joke for SNL?
Vaguely.
Chevy Chase with a doctor's
This is
thing
one
on
of
his
the-
head, sitting on a couch with someone. Knock knock. Who's there? Bab's uvula. Bab's uvula who? I don't know, Babs. But what I do know is that if you don't
Yeah.
I don't know, Babs. But Bab's uvula. Bab's uvula who? I don't know, Babs. But what I do know is fucking Chevy Chase can only pull
Chevy
that off.
Chase was- yeah. Chevy Chase was at the at the convention, not this convention, but at the last Steel City convention.
What?
Yeah.
Just like 2 weeks ago.
No, not that one. The one before that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we went to last year's.
Yeah, they have 2 or 3 a year now.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
Smart.
they're definitely nailing it.
Man, I would have went to go see Chevy Chase. Why didn't anybody tell me?
Yeah, I didn't find out until like I don't know. Why didn't I tell you? I didn't get to go either, but
Am I glitchy or are you glitchy? It's
Wait.
him, right? It's him, right?
you're a little glitchy, I think. Yeah, I think.
You're glitchy.
It might be me actually. It shows that my connection shows a little low.
Uh-huh.
Now it's better though. Now it's way better.
Ooh, am I glitchy?
Am I glitchy?
Took a while for you to react. I must be glitchy.
Did it? Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Let's see here.
I'm gonna count to 3, 2, 1, and then 3, 2, 1. Okay, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Join in. 3, 2,
2,
1,
1,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1, 3, 2, 1.
Dear God. Yeah, we got about a second and a half delay.
Cool.
Neat. Tripping. Yeah, when we went, there was a Cheers reunion, and Fenino talked to Cliff and Norm. Fenino was there.
Nice.
Yeah, and there was the Goonies reunion, which is
Yeah, I remember that you saying about that one. Yeah.
that was awesome. And heard the Little Mermaid, the voice of the Little Mermaid, sing, speak and then sing, and not Roddy McDowell. What the hell's his name? The main bad guy in Stranger Things, the first seasons. What's his name? Quicksilver.
Matthew Modine.
Matthew Modine. He was there and he spoke, and he was actually a very intelligent, fascinating human being.
Right.
Like, we actually just went in there to have a seat for a little while
Yeah.
to like get a rest.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy smokes, this guy's great. Well, great. Maybe not great. He was excellent.
The one girl
better.
The one girl that I met at the convention had a Goonies t-shirt.
A Goonies t-shirt?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole crew, or just like the Goonies and the Never Say Die kind of
It was the whole crew with the whole crew with the ship in the background and
like a movie poster.
Yeah, like a movie poster. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. She's the one who wants to stay in contact and actually get some connection going.
Excellent.
She's cute. She's definitely cute.
Well,
it's
not about cute.
No. I mean,
it's about what they make you do, or you make them do, I guess.
And she's totally into science fiction. Yeah, nice. Loves Doctor Who. Loves
right, and she's into clogging. You love clogging. I know. She's totally into Satan.
Let's see.
You love Satan. I know. She's into spinal piercings.
This is her profile picture.
You shouldn't share that. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
That looks like someone who is a dominator.
She's not.
Of course, she's on her knees below you with a diamond cutter thing. Right.
No, I got.
She is to be dominated.
Yeah.
Or submissive role.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the.
It's all about everybody
giving away power. Dude, a lot of people in high seats of power, they go to dominatrixes so that they can feel the opposition of it.
Yeah.
It's just whatever people need to have a balance in their life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Ding 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 ding. Speaking of ding 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 ding. I saw today that I wasn't even really aware of. That there's a new Lord of the Rings series
Series, yeah.
on Prime.
I don't
And I
think it's
watched.
out yet.
I thought, oh, okay, it's
yeah,
not okay.
no,
It
I
said
don't think
watch
so.
it on Prime. It must just been a commercial for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely
Young Galadriel
It's
looks pretty
it's
bloody epic.
yeah, it's built off of the Silmarillion.
I kind of figured.
Yeah.
I kind of figured it wouldn't be fan fiction completely.
No, it's built off of that.
Right.
So it I mean it looks promising. It looks like,
Well, it looks like they put money into it. I'll tell you that.
they sure did, from what I understand. Yeah, they definitely spent a ton of money on it. So we'll see. I think it's supposed to come out either end of this month, sometime this month.
Wow, exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Any director involved with it per se?
I don't know what if any role
Like if it's from the creative vision of if anybody is being credited for doing this besides a studio.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't investigated too much on it.
Oh, that's another. Okay, so I did have a really interesting day, and today was a day of receiving. Like a lot of things came. You know how it is. You keep putting it out there. You keep putting it out there, and it seems like a lot of just like it's the day of synchronicities of there's a give and there's a receive. You plant all these seeds, and a lot of stuff comes back. But one of them was I'm going to start work in a couple weeks, or I got called to be on a crew when it comes in for a one of the Coen brothers, if you can call them brothers. One of the Coens movie is going to be shot here in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's pretty neat. Speaking of directors.
And you said it's a movie, or
it's going to be a movie. Yeah, it is a. Let me see. How was it described when it was pitched to me? Okay, it doesn't have a title yet. It's a lesbian road trip comedy written and directed by Ethan Coen.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. It could be my second lesbian movie.
There's no you said
the other one's with Kristen Stewart. Oh, I don't know. Well, there's not a title yet, so I can't look it up.
But I mean, there's
that's all I got.
No actors attached to it that you know of.
That's all I got so far. That's all the knowledge that they gave me. And if there's no name attached to it, then you can't IMDb it to see who's going to be on board. And man, things changed up to the last day, So when I'm there, I'll once I put a name to it, maybe there'll be an actor in it. But I think it's going to be at least two female leads.
Well, at least two, yeah.
At least two female leads.
Cool. Do we know is that how I got working, or?
Oh yeah, street working.
He's out street working.
Working the streets. Out on the street for a living. Bitches only begun. Hit it, BB.
Yeah.
Hit the note.
That's the only words I know.
No, you said the do it with me.
Oh no, I ain't got that.
Come on, you got it in you.
Black Diamond.
The rhythmless drum. Hit it. I was in a car on a lesbian road trip.
What was that like?
It was fat. They go fast.
Wow. Like
I
a
hear
horse.
that they have hundreds of horses in the front
Right.
of them.
Wow,
You can't
magic.
see them though. They say they're under the hood, and I guess a hood is like a cloak of invisibility. But they played the end of a Kiss song. Well, they were playing a Kiss song, and I caught the end of it. I think it was on YEP, and the ending was like, this is the most depressing, awkward ending to almost any song in the world. And I think it was the end of, was it the end of Black Diamond or Slow Gin, where it just goes boom.
I think it's Black Diamond. Yeah.
Boom, Black Diamond.
Yeah.
So that's the same song that I was just doing there. That's why it popped in my head.
Sure.
Black Diamond.
Black
Yes.
Diamond. Nice.
Ooh,
Nice.
live ending.
Oh,
No.
and we do have finally at 10:07 the appearance of one King Ad Hoc.
Yeah, rocking the Purple Rain t-shirt.
Hey.
Nice.
And the Run
Purple
DMC,
Stairs.
my Adidas. All day I dream about smoking Adidas leaves.
Hey. You guys hear
There,
me?
there.
Yeah, we
All
actually
right.
hear you this time.
I'm in the house.
Oh, yeah, you are. We
Man,
can
I
hear
like-
you.
I like the background this time too. It looks like I got high contrast going on back there. The purple stairs.
I like that.
Everybody's looking for the ladder from the Purple Rain. Just goes
Nice.
right across.
Everybody looking for
Takes
the
you right up the
ladder.
stairs. Yeah. Got my all day I dream about sex pointing the other direction that way over there. It's got the
Mhm.
matching white. Pointing at the girl. Who's no
It matches.
longer.
Yeah, dude, your stairs match your Purple Rain really nicely.
Yeah, I know. It's just a good color combo. How you dudes doing?
We're doing
Really
pretty
good.
Doing pretty
But
good.
Dude. That's good. Hey.
Uh-huh.
Hey.
Sounds
No,
good.
How
I
was
can't
your
find the
trip,
ending.
man? What did I miss?
Oh, you missed all the stories.
Doggone.
You can tell him.
I just gotta watch the replay or what?
Oh wait,
Oh, I can't find the ending here. Oh,
yeah, we have a question from the audience.
we have an audience.
Can you guys still do long division like without a calculator?
This one can.
I can.
Good.
To
Throw it
some
out there,
degree.
Wild Missing Shot.
I'm
Throw it out
able to
there.
do-
Wild missing
I'm able
shot.
to do some amount of calculation with no calculator.
We used to call him the Calculatron 2000. when
Yes,
we
but
were,
that was-
we were
that
growing
was-
up.
But that was well before the year 2000 when that would have been I was
Right.
ahead of my time
Right.
and not 22 years outdated.
But now, being 22 years outdated, take that into account when you throw out the long division equation to solve for you. And you also have to know the answer. You can't just throw out random numbers and expect somebody to have a correct answer. Oh,
You're
Wild
looking
Missing
for
Shot. Oh, wait, we know Wild Missing Shot.
Yeah. That's right.
do we? Oh yeah.
Been here before.
I take the word of both of my compatriots and believe. Nice to see you again, Wild Missing Shot.
Aha.
Indubitably.
If you're
And you
looking for a
forgot how-
class, but I mean, basically, it's just the opposite of multiplication. You're just doing. Oh yes, stop by every now and again.
Mhm.
That's good. Yeah, division is just the opposite of multiplication. It's multiplication in reverse. In reverse.
Yeah, but you speak in long sentences.
Do you have a
Some call them
sample-
paragraphs.
Do you have a sample? If you have a sample problem, I can walk you through it.
Professor Beebe.
It's all good. Just fine. Well, you definitely need to know how to do division if you're going to be doing machining.
A
stuff.
machinist. Yeah.
Because if you try to do, this is fact. If you try to do machining stuff without division, without knowing how to do division, you're basically going to create Skynet. and the Terminators are going to come. All right, so
Facts.
don't do it. Don't
You know,
don't do it.
Them's the
My
best.
math skills were questionable in life. I did make it to trig,
Right.
but I did. But I took engineering in high school for 2 years. It was more or less drafting. Right, they're gonna do it, and yeah, the trig is fascinating because it's shapes, but nevertheless, is it? No, it's geometry. Who knows?
That's
Tough to-
geometry.
who could say? There's no way to tell. No, but my point is that with engineering in high school, like I said, it was primarily drafting. You were doing like what the CAD system does by hand, like drawing, different layers of things so that a
Yeah.
machinist can put it together. And I didn't always want to take the time or know how to translate this number into like metric or this or 36 blah 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 stuff, but that's not even real thing. So I would eyeball everything. After a while, I would just it looks about like that, and I aced the course every year. But I knew that if I went into engineering or drafting or architecture, by God, heaven forbid, bridges would crumble,
Boys.
civilizations, one butterfly fart, and my building would come down. Like a 9/11 scenario.
Yeah. I finished trigonometry in my freshman year of high school, is when I finished trigonometry, and then moved into the calculus and advanced calculus my next 2 years, and then only had physics, advanced physics my
club.
last year.
Physics.
In my last year, because they didn't offer any more mathematics classes at Johnstown High that I had not yet taken.
It's like we don't know how to teach anything more than that.
Yeah, but
Never more than
I've
two.
lost a large amount of my mathematic ability.
Right.
I used to have an almost what was the character's name from Good
Calcutron 2000.
How do you like them apples? Goodwill Hunting.
Oh yeah, Goodwill.
Yeah, I used to have an ability where they would show me a problem in trigonometry, and my brain would go, "Here's the answer," and I would write it down, and the teacher, Henry Shyline, my teacher, would go,
Show me how you got there.
"Okay, you have to show the work now," and then I would work backwards from the solution to the answer
Wow.
to show that I was right, and he'd be like, "That's exactly right. You have the right answer. I'm just not clear how you got there." And I was like, "I don't know either."
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I've been welding for about 15 years already, so I got some time with prints and even design, worked with a lot of engineers. But yeah, moving forward in the career.
That's great.
Yeah, you don't need long division for welding. That's true. But machinery, yes.
That's great. Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
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 Congratulations. You graduated. That is a quote that no one will get. It's from Ren and Stimpy.
Used to
It'll
go
be
to sleep to
28,000
that.
Bigroom bucks.
Sounds like there were plenty of good weeks going around this.
Yeah, we were just
Hey,
talking
that's
about.
great, man. That's great.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you caught the good week.
You said there are plenty of good weeks going around.
Yeah, I had a great week
I had a
in
great
the
week,
process of another one. How about you, Ad Hoc?
Well, I had a good
My
week.
week kind
over-
of sucked.
I must have given my good to you.
I
My
guess
uvula is swollen.
Yeah, I mean, everything's perspective, right? So
Yes.
it's first world problem. I mean, this is the week that I moved all the stuff of Mariah's out of the apartment,
Except
like
for
a
her
good week.
artwork, apparently.
except for the artwork. There's no place for that in her apartment. And I told her it can stay here. So
It's cool.
there's a constant reminder of my broken heart.
Sorry, dude. Sorry. It's
No.
No.
But honestly, yeah, it just bittersweet, just a bittersweet week for me. Went into it started with the weekend in Johnstown with the ethnic festival this past weekend. yeah, got to see the Monk play a couple times, and that went off, with very few hitches. I won't say without a hitch, but it went off. It went off pretty damn well, and so nothing to complain about there. It was a good weekend. It was a good weekend, and but this week also, everything that my car could need fixed needs fixed this week. All of a sudden, my shocks have been noisy for a long time, but now my car is bouncy and noisy and a little embarrassing, and my rear shocks and rotors just started screeching at the same time.
No, dear.
So these are both $500 repairs that I need them done, because I just wore my car down over the past, couple years, and just needs done. Yes,
we could be.
That's a good observation. Missing shot, and I'd say you missed the shot a little bit because you were correct, and you could have just went for the bullseye and just demanded like everybody else. You are brothers, and just went for the shot. But
yeah.
you're living up to your name, and I respect that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. It's a little more calculus, and you're on it. But yeah, that's a good call. Yeah. We are. Yep. We are twins.
No.
Hey, he guessed incorrectly again. We know
again,
but that did prove to my advantage when we were growing up. That's how I got my first tattoo, by saying that we were twins, and that's when I wasn't 21. We told 18. The people
they're twins separated
18.
by 18 months.
Yeah, we're 18.
You got the tattoo separated. At 18, and he was
17.
17. So yeah. 21.
Well, 16. Yeah.
No, you were 17. I was
still 17.
I guess I was 18 something, or maybe 19. I guess
18 or 19,
something like that.
Yeah, something around that.
Purple rain.
If I take this shirt off, it looks exactly like this on my chest. Right there.
Yep.
Right there.
That's the tattoo right there.
Right across the chest. I don't need to
Apollonia.
It's purple rain right across the chest. In purple. Looks awesome.
Oh, there was a quote earlier that I gave out that I said that only Ad Hoc and Lar would know. And it was, "Madam, I do nothing professionally. I only do things for fun." There it is. Finished it for him. There it is.
Yep. I know that one. The Bigroom bucks have not been collected on that one, huh?
You just did.
All right. So, but Beebs, you went on a trip.
Yes, I did. I went on a trip.
Trip was successful.
Yes.
Tell Ad Hoc a little bit about that. I'm going to refresh my "What am I drinking?"
Here's a question of importance, though, before you leave there, T, from Wild Missing Shot. T? Oh, well, we're going to have to wait. We have to wait till he comes back.
You're going to have to wait now, Missing Shot. You're going to have to wait, dude.
I'll give King Ad Hoc the preview of the question. The question is...
Aha! That is a great question, man. I mean, and honestly, I applaud that. I applaud that move. Yeah. So, man, that's a good question. I honestly, growing up, man, that's tough. That's tough. That is a tough one. I'd like to see T's answer. Honestly, I might give it to T in the earlier. I started before him, but
I feel like T was in a few more longer
relationships. In longer relationships earlier than I was. That's for sure. But I was
so I think that might have cut down the overall number.
I was knocking some boots.
It could have cut down the overall number.
Yeah. I think, and I can't even say that T had better quality over my quantity. It was just
no.
I don't know. Who got more girls growing up between me and you? That's a tough one, right?
It depends what years we're talking about.
Exactly right.
growing
right.
up.
Growing up.
If you mean
That's a Bruce
everything-
growing up,
Springsteen
like-
song that David Bowie then covered.
If you mean from birth to current, then the answer has to be ad hoc, because Monk's been married for like a decade or so.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
that's really cut down on. That's all
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, but I was in the arts in Pittsburgh for a
Right.
nice condensed chunk
Right.
there.
Oh, with all the
Mm.
There's a
That's-
collective belief of you have to live a little bit like Peter Pan. You know,
definitely.
yeah. You can
We're
never
all
lose
lost
the
boys here.
You can never lose the Peter Pan. There's certain responsibilities that you have to grasp and take hold of as you age throughout life.
maturing
never
and
need to
growing up are
entirely
two different
grow up.
things.
Two
You know, the
completely
thing
different things. Two
If
completely
you
different
grow
things.
up, that's suggesting that you're growing out of something that you were born into. You know, all of us are kind of born into something that like we enjoy so much. And so we do it all the time as children. And then the idea that you have to stop doing that is the belief that you grow up and out of being happy with who you are. Pittsburgh.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. Been to Philly. Oh, yeah. Wait. Yeah, that rings a bell. with
Philly
this guy.
does have the best Philly cheesesteaks. I'll tell you that.
They're not really that close to each other. They're on opposite sides of the state.
Yeah, it's about a 7-hour drive.
Yeah, it's a
Mm,
solid 5.
6,
Oh, I
yeah,
thought it-
5.5. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
bad.
It's a solid 5.
6 if you take a pee break and stop at McDonald's.
7 if you drive with me.
Bucks County.
Bucks County. I know that name. I know the name of Bucks County.
Well,
No,
I'm
it
sure
don't.
they do. Well,
No, it
Shop.
doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, everyone, dude.
It's all
Across the
perspective.
country,
In Bucks
everyone
County, it's
knows
made the
Bucks
the-
County cheesesteaks.
They're called Bucks County
Like anyone's
deer
ever heard of a
steaks.
Philly? Like anyone's ever heard of a Philly cheesesteak? No one's ever heard of that. It's. I mean, you go to fucking Chicago, they talk about Bucks County cheesesteaks.
They
Bucks
do.
County deer steaks.
Yeah, you
Deer
go down to
steaks.
Miami,
Venison.
drive out to San Francisco. It's all about Bucks County. No one's ever heard of Philly cheesesteak.
Bucks County venison steaks. Trump.
That's
Fill you up.
ridiculous. You live in some kind of alternate dimension
Philly.
where
Yeah, no.
Philadelphia has become
That's
famous
so-
for cheesesteaks.
Man,
City of
Trump ruined the verb Trump for me forever. Can't use
Yeah,
it.
that was
Yeah.
his mission, actually. That's when he
Well,
changed
that was
his
his
name to
goal.
that. That was his mission.
I just,
Yeah, I actually went for a good steakum cheese,
what?
steakum and Velveeta cheese melt with sautéed onions when I was 11, and that was the height right there. That was the height. Do you remember steakums?
Oh yeah, they were supreme.
Absolutely. Do you remember Velveeta?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. They were
Steak and a steak, steak and a steak.
they were the best.
yeah. The
Yeah.
amount of I don't know. I cannot prove this, but
That's a Monk
My-
County cheesesteak.
yeah,
Right there.
I don't have anything to actually back this up, but I believe that the amount of sodium in a steakum was off the fucking charts. Like, just,
So
Yeah.
thin, just all salt, just
Yeah,
condensed
just-
salt
yeah, it was like a
With beef
condensed
melts.
salt with
with beef rectum flavorings. Oh, dude, that's how I remember you, Wild Missing Shot. You talked about these PEX parties before with us. This is probably about a year and a half ago. You talked about throwing PEX parties
Okay.
in Philadelphia. They were kind of like not quite raves, but they were artsy parties, right? They were art parties, right?
Well, you know.
You know.
You know. Is there-
You know what you know, and you keep it in that flow, yo. Right. And sex.
right.
Yep. I remember now. Yep. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
No,
Uh-huh.
while the missing shot, you're starting to sound a little sad here now.
Uh-oh.
This comes off as a little sad.
I miss the sex
X
rooms.
rooms.
You know what? They stopped doing. But you know, if you're getting into being a machinist,
Oh,
they have robot sex rooms.
Robot sex rooms.
Uh-oh, ad hoc had an
Ad-Hoc just hurt
injury.
himself. Yeah, he just hurt himself.
You bleeding out? Let us know if you're bleeding out there, ad hoc. Robot sex is the future.
And that's
I've
what you gotta
seen,
learn division.
What?
You have
Vision?
robot sex with a robot that was using non-long division.
Oh yes.
It's
Then-
gonna go wrong. It's gonna go south in
Hey,
the worst way.
sizes and everything in division.
Size is not everything in robot sex.
Long division, average size division.
Yeah,
It's all about how you make them feel.
all about
right.
it, yeah.
If you can make them feel at all, you win.
Right.
Anything.
Then you win. Then the
It's like,
robot.
I
Then
know.
you win.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
robot
win the
becomes
sex.
sentient at that point.
Yep.
You
And
know?
then back to Skynet.
Yep. Or Blade Runners.
You can't. Yeah, Blade Runner. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Hey,
Hey, what
what
am I reading?
are you drinking? Happening.
Kentucky's
Taste
first.
it.
Happening. What word? Taste
Taste
it.
I gotta taste
Happening. What word? Taste it. Taste
Whew.
it. Drink it. Taste
Just
it.
Evan Williams.
with a splash of Coke.
Splash of Coke.
Cocaine.
Yeah, so I started I'm gonna be going to bed, relatively early tonight.
Of course.
I'm trying to crush some money because all these car expenses.
Gotta crush
and,
the money.
Realize like I put my credit cards are way too high from living lavishly the past year.
Fuck
As you
Yeah.
as documented from my Instagram account, which I have to show for it. Thank you very much. I do have something to show for it. But fuck you all,
Yes,
everybody.
yes.
It's like, if you think I don't, I do. Check the IG.
Yeah,
So
it was-
the proof is there.
Great sex and great apps.
Go together. The equal.
Great
huge credit
dinners
card.
and great sex. That's
But
the
yeah, I
Instagram account right
so
there.
so like that I got some plans I'm gonna be pivoting into here.
Space
um,
plans.
But yeah, tomorrow I'm
20,000
working.
big room bucks.
Tomorrow I'm getting the brakes done tomorrow at 11:30.
Mhm.
And then I will work drive in and at the casino setting up chairs for some boy band show. I'm not sure what boy band is playing at the casino on Friday.
Is it
But I'm gonna
Backstreet
go
Boys?
down
Tell me
there.
Off
Backstreet
the
Boys.
brakes.
I got the gigs. I'm going to be selling some t-shirts for the boy band. I got to look it up. I'll tell you who it is.
Is it Backstreet
And
Boys?
hopefully I don't know, man.
Is
I'll
it the
tell
Boy
you.
Street Boys?
Could it be?
It is,
Could
I
it?
think it's the Boy Street Boys.
Could it be
The
Backstreet Boys?
knockoff of the Backstreet Boys.
Is it
It's
possible?
the Boy Alley Boys.
Doing all covers of all the boy bands in
Yeah.
Speedos.
The Boy Boys.
The Boys.
The boy boys.
Back Alley Boys. Missing shot.
But
I'm looking it up.
Nailed it again.
nailed it.
These are the breaks. So today I was at a coffee shop that it's always also a record store, and there was, and I almost bought it. Oh, I almost bought it. Curtis Blow album, and it was his first one.
Wow.
Yeah, the one that has these are the breaks. It was that one, like before. Curtis Blow, where he's rapping with Run DMC on it. Like it's like the album cover. He looks like a kid. And he
Wow.
almost looks like Al Green on it because he's like shirtless, you know what I mean? Like skinny kid. Looks like young Al Green album cover. There it is. These are the breaks. Look it up. Yeah. Yeah, I almost bought it today. It was only like $15, but I was like,
It was vinyl or?
vinyl.
Yeah,
Vinyl.
nice.
Vinyl. Yeah. There's also an original press vinyl of Hair, the Broadway play Hair from 1968.
Yeah.
I think was the release, or 69. But it was one of the original ones, and it was only like $15 too. I was like, I should do these things. But then I'm thinking to myself, where I live, this coffee shop that has these albums, when I hop on this next movie, and I actually have like extra cash to throw around, I don't think anybody's gonna walk in from and buy and be like, Curtis Blow hair. I gotta have this.
Yeah.
Ding dang do. It ain't
I mean,
happening.
I think
they're
if
gonna
you
be
were like,
waiting there for me.
if you had some like DJing skills or like scratching skills, that would
What
be
do
a
you
fun
mean?
one to cut up.
What do you mean if I?
What
I'm
you
sorry,
said?
dude. I didn't know that you were working on that as in your.
I must work more.
I have to work harder, I guess.
I remember ad hoc when we were kids, getting the vinyl and trying to scratch on it. You did it successfully, but the turntable, we didn't really realize that you have to have a turntable that you can open up. It has a forward movement, but when you put your finger down on it, there's a release, right? Or you have the pads underneath it.
You put a vinyl or a felt pad
underneath it, so it doesn't scratch up
Yeah.
side B. So side
And-
B to Houdini, and side B to Curtis Blow, and side B to what else were we messing up? La Freak, the Chic,
Oh,
Chic,
man.
La Freak by Chic.
Yeah.
All those got scratched up, ruined. We ruined the day. You will ruin the day. But yeah, those were the days.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The days. We were way ahead of the curve in Podunk J Tiggity, where nobody knew any of that stuff going on. I don't even know how we came across it. Seriously. BB, how did we even know who the hell the Fat Boys were? Eddie
I think we
Gorchik?
had the internet before most people in J-Town.
The
we had-
internet.
We had early
Enderman
access
Room.
to the rudimentary internets before.
Yeah, we
before
called it dreamscaping.
Yeah.
Carlos Castanedas, we just
Am I-
kind
am
of
I
plugged
showing this
into the
ad?
dream
Am I showing
internet.
this ad hoc?
Yeah, you could show it. Just real
Okay,
quick.
back to ad hoc story.
This is what's coming up at Rivers. The Pop
Tracy
2004.
Morgan.
Tracy Morgan and the Bare Naked Canadians.
That's right. A friend of
Nice.
mine. Oh, Lurch.
Chainsaw,
Do you remember Lurch? Oh, sorry. Lurch helped
no.
mix their albums. The Canadian guy that we
Oh,
know that runs
really?
sound here. Yep. He did.
K-Rock saw Bare Naked Ladies along with
Tracy
K-Rock.
Lords.
Who did the Bare Naked Ladies perform with?
Different
did you
Bare Naked
saw?
Lady.
They
might be
did the Bare
Giants.
Naked Ladies play with you
They might be Giants.
the Violent Femmes.
Oh, totally. Ad hoc. You went to New Year's
Yes.
Eve in Washington,
And
D.C.
the Violent
with
Femmes
me.
totally were
Yeah.
out of it. They sucked.
I was out of it so much that I sucked. We went to go see the Violent Femmes New Year's Eve, 1990 something or other in D.C. with Halsey, and he stole a rocking horse off like those. Put a 50 cents in, and and the rocking horse goes like this, like at the beginning of the Jane's Addiction video for Been Caught Stealing, and we stole it and shoved it in a car, and then drove through DC with a giant oh jeez.
Through DC, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. One more time, Beebs. One more time. This is who's on that. This is who I'm going to be selling T-shirts for.
All right, Chris Kirkpatrick, Mark McGrath, right? Who the hell
Chris
are these
Kirkpatrick's
people?
on
O
that
Town. O Town is the boy band. LFO.
I don't know Ryan Carrera, LFO, or O-Town. I have no idea.
LFO stands for Laugh Fucking Off.
I like Sugar Ray though. Mark Morath from Sugar Ray. He's
Is that
pretty
the
good.
name?
No, dude,
Oh, I see underneath it. Oh, I see. Chris Kirkpatrick, In Sync, Mark McGrath, Sugar Ray. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
Good for
So
them.
I'm definitely hoping to get some MILF action on Friday. Yay, yay. Woo woo. 40-something bitches. Come on.
You're adulting. You're going to be
I'm gonna
adulting
give you
that
more
night.
than a T-shirt. I'm gonna give you my number. I'm
Woo,
gonna
woo,
throw you
woo,
in your
woo.
back seat like you wanted to do when you were 22. Yeah, 18.
Oh no!
Ad hoc as Paul Stanley hunting MILFs at an O-Town concert.
At a hotel concert. Yeah.
16. Maybe
Christine.
16. It's okay.
Oh no!
Firehouse. So wait, what?
That's-
Oh,
no.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
so
good.
Hopefully, I'll have some good stories from Friday.
That's
I
what.
hope
that's
so
what-
too.
Yeah, I hope so.
Hopefully, I do. Hopefully, I do. you know
Oh,
I
you know.
roll. Yeah,
Let's
no,
go
I don't know.
crazy. Let's get nuts.
I will tell you some more stories from my past weekend sometime when we're not broadcasting necessarily.
Ah, good. Right.
Yeah,
Was it
very
with
good.
Christine 16?
All
It was
right,
not.
see you guys all
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
next week. We got to hear some stories.
It's
Yeah. Get out of here. Go
good
home.
Yeah.
everyone.
Go
gotta get-
home. It's time for you to go.
All right. That is 20,000 big room bucks. Go home. Who is it?
Going private.
That's a quote.
Saving private.
Go home. She would say it at the end of her show every week on the Fox
Not
Network.
Tracy Morgan, but Tracy.
This almond milk is delicious.
Man. It's so close. Oh man, you guys are hot. You're hot. I see the guesses.
It's you guys.
Uh-huh. Close enough. It's not soy milk, but almond milk. So, yeah. Let's hear these stories. Go away, everybody.
That's, no.
Sweet
Just joking.
Mexican
We
almond
really
milk.
appreciate you all coming here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's good stories.
Everywhere.
Like I have several stories that can be told. Several stories that probably should not be told. But it was a good.
That
Good
sounds like a
weekend.
good vacation then.
It was the as I told T earlier. It was the 17th
G version.
annual-
He told me the
seven-
G version.
Yeah. The
Not the
17th
G-string
annual 17th annual Master Slave Conference.
Oh my god!
Oh, you're just getting that information now, ad hoc.
I had no idea that's what you're going to.
Yeah, yeah.
This must have been epic.
And BB won an
only I could
award
s-
from last year's award-winning slave.
I did.
What?
I won a Apple.
Oh, I wish I could see through the eyes of the BB Rumble for this weekend. I wanna
Thursday,
see
Friday,
it.
Saturday, and Sunday. All 4 nights. Good times. Giant conference. Yeah,
He
giant
misses the
conference.
sex rooms, though.
Oh, we seriously got to go.
Yeah, I missed the sex rooms. Yeah, I totally missed sex rooms.
Because there's no elevators.
Oh, there's elevators. Oh yeah, there's elevators.
That's not what he meant. Loving an elevator.
No, it was a giant conference center. I mean, three floors of a conference center, 2 full
my
hotels
God.
connected.
No way.
Yeah, 100. Like
That's
100
balls
over-
for them to like host something like that. Like, good for them to host. it.
Everybody was super respectful, man. Everybody was like nothing crazy going on in the hotel lobby or anything like that. You know, just like
Oh,
everybody knew, like, hey, you know.
that's
And
why
plus,
you
that's what
didn't.
they're all about. Yeah, like the whole organization is all about more about just talking about it and sending out, you know, the message of, hey, these are people that are interested in this kind of lifestyle. That doesn't necessarily make you some kind of uncontrollable freak, you know. But
It's not about a deviant,
yeah.
it's a lifestyle. It's
no,
not a
it's, yeah,
deviation.
it's a
Right.
choice, yeah, for both sides.
Right.
And I mean, they had over 100 classes over Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 100
Wow.
different, and all kinds of, like, the theme was diversity. I mean, they had entire classes dedicated to just, you know, master slave relationships with disabilities, people in wheelchairs, people that are blind, you know, different things focused on, you know, healthy objectification, how to spot if someone is in an abusive relationship, even if it is a master slave thing.
I like
Really,
healthy
healthy objectification.
objectification. That is
That
a
was like-
great term.
that was my favorite fucking class I went to, man. That was my favorite class.
I love it because you're taking something that's been so, it's a negative term, right? Objectification.
Oh
You're
yeah,
taught it's bad, but yet it's so normal. It's that thing in the Bible. It's that thing we grew up in Catholicism and say, yeah, just for looking and having the thought, sorry, but you're going to hell. That's why you need come give us your money and
yep.
confess.
Oh, the class was great.
Because
Dude.
it's inevitable. Everybody has it. It's just like it's a brilliant marketing strategy from the church, right? Like, no, even your thoughts are a sin.
Yeah, it was a great
Yeah.
class. It was a 90-minute class. They had two folks giving it. Two people giving it. They've written.
How many
books
people
on
were
it.
getting it?
There were,
Sorry,
I think there were about 30 of us in the class.
getting it.
But really good.
Well, right. Lay
Yeah.
some of that on us.
Oh, they were just. I mean, the two people that were giving away. Yeah, they were doing the speaking. Were, one was a master, one was a slave, and they were a gay couple, but you had the submissive talking about what turned him on, about being objectified and where that line is drawn, and how important it is for both sides to be open to that communication and negotiations. That both sides understand I'm not doing something that's making you feel bad about yourself. I'm doing something that's in some way exciting you and giving you some kind of release that you might not be able to get in some other way.
Right.
And so it's just and the submissive guy, his name was Joshua. He was hilarious. He would just he would be like
His
'cause,
name was Reek.
Reek. Because his master guy was like
20,000 big room. I'm sorry, 20 big room bucks.
20 big room bucks, yeah.
Yes.
His master guy is like, I mean, because like if we go to a party and all that, he was talking about that they broke down the seven different things that societies will do to try to objectify its individuals if that society is trying to control that individual. So it's taken from a negative standpoint, but then showing how you can take each one of those seven things and in a consenting relationship treat it as an excitement, a taboo, if you will. Yeah, and the master was like one of them was fungibility. Like treating your slave as a replaceable object. Something that doesn't matter if it's him or someone else that's doing it. That you're not special. You're just I happen to be you're here, so I'm using you for this now. If someone else was here, maybe I would use them for this. That's fungibility. The master was like, for example, like if we go, like I'm not into fungibility at all. Like I want my slave is mine. Yeah, he's like my slave is mine. I peed on this. This one belongs to me. Yeah, he's like like I have ownership over this one. Yeah, he's like, and if someone just walked up to him and just like grabbed him, at a party, he would be permissive of that. And the slave was like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, if I was there and like and say I was hooded or something and no one knew who I was and I knew you were doing something with somebody and somebody came up to grab me, I mean, that's so hot, and he was just getting into it, and then the master guy was like,
I like the
yeah,
honesty.
oh yeah, they were everybody, and everybody's super. Like
That's
the
what's
whole
great about
everybody,
all
every time you
this.
met anybody, it didn't matter if they were, dominant or submissive, whatever. If you met them, you didn't know them. Everybody to the point was like, "Hey, do you mind if I hug you? Do you mind if I, and then, no, that's fine." Even like, like Karen, who wasn't there as part of the scene, she was just there to get me to where I was going. They, they'd be like, "You mind if I hug you?" And she'd be like, "Yeah, of course."
Great.
Although she did get an awesome
Spit in the mouth.
boot black service. Yeah, and also
A good choke.
she had her combat boots. Which were a bit worn and had been a while since they had any attention.
Yeah.
And they had different service stations set up all over the convention, like
Wow.
massage therapists and whatnot. And one of them, a couple of them were boot blacks. Yeah, who worked.
Yeah.
and she went up and they worked on her boots and just no charge, no tip, wouldn't take no just
Just the
took
excitement of
like 45 minutes, you know.
to
Hey,
come.
Beebs.
Yeah,
Can
just
you
45 minutes
Beebs?
of
Can you make
wearing
us
boots, and they look awesome. They look great.
Beebs
Like,
enlarge us just a little bit? You know, there's that other setting where it
I
still
don't think
keeps the
it's
same formation, but just makes us all a little bigger.
no. This is the only other one we have.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the only
No,
other
there's
one?
this one.
Yeah.
There's that one.
Oh, okay.
And then as a
There's
fourth
this one.
person.
Oh, okay. All right. No good. Yeah.
You know,
My bad. I
I
thought there was
had
another.
I had a boot blacking situation different. It was working on the happiest season, and my occupation as the onset artist was to touch up Kristen Stewart's
Oh,
ice
nice.
skates.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nice.
and it was. I admit it was kind of harsh.
Sure.
She was there with her partner, you know, and it was a lesbian holiday film, whatever.
nice.
But yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's nice.
So, did you lick them clean before you blacked them?
Black
Did
them up.
not.
Your
No, they were
bootlicker?
white. They were white ice skates. They were whitened.
But yeah, so it was just Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They had dinners set up. They had they had different dinners that you could go to. Which
So
were
glad
great.
that you went to that, dude.
Yeah,
That's awesome, dude.
And
I
like,
this your
don't even know
first?
how you found it.
yeah. This was the first conference I went to.
Oh,
You know, and yeah, like I said, Trish in New Jersey. I mentioned to you before, yeah.
Yeah.
She was there and she brought her group with her, so they got to meet
Nice.
all of them in person.
Cool.
You know, so that was great. They were a good
That's
group.
super awesome.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
a good
because you've
group.
known Trish for a long time now.
I've known her for like 8 or 9 years. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah. But they were there, so we got to spend the whole weekend. You know, just going about, and it started. I did not go down there at 9 in the morning. That's when it would
go
start.
down there. Sorry.
But it would go from there until like 1 in the morning each night. You know, they had 2 different cigar parties. They had a drumming ritual.
Ooh.
You know, with drums and dancers and
Wow.
yeah. So it was great. It was organized great. Like I said, everyone was super friendly, open.
So
every-
let me go ahead. Go ahead. I
No.
got a question. Finish the thought, and then I have a question.
And like I said, everyone was. The hotel was very happy with everybody there.
Nice.
Karen
That's
got into a
great.
conversation with one of the hotel staff members there. Like, dude, you guys were like everyone here was just so, friendly, professional. Like, we had no problems in the common areas at all. We were like, awesome. But they had like whole photography displays and and speakers. It was really.
And this is in DC.
It was on the University of Maryland college campus.
University of Maryland. So
Yeah, so we
closer to
were like,
Baltimore?
yeah, we were like probably we were about 20 minutes away from Baltimore and like maybe 45 from DC.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is that if there are subs and doms, are
And switches.
are the rest of us switches? Are the masses, sometimes, you know what I mean?
No, I understand. Yeah, but no, it's
Or
there are
is it-
switches in the community too. I mean, there's switches in the community. There's it's called middling, where with some people they might be a sub, with other people they might be a dom.
Well, sometimes
Yeah.
you're but even with the same partner. I mean, if you have one partner, sometimes you're in mood to be on top, sometimes you're in mood to be on the bottom. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? Or you want your partner on
Mhm.
top. I mean,
Yeah.
Is this like what puts you into the category? Like very specifically for this conference, right? It's like you're talking about masters and you still using the word slaves, which is like
Oh yeah, that's
kinda
that's a
weird.
topic. Yeah, that's a topic
that's
of,
the whole topic in itself.
of
Because
discussion. Yeah.
if you're, especially if you're a person of color, African American specifically, this is still very raw type of something that feels probably very personal to you in ways that the rest of us, who are Caucasian or other ethnicities can't understand. And but Yet that might be that, it's still a turn on for somebody. And again, we're in a no judgment zone here. I don't care. What works for you might not work for somebody else. And this is the big room. Welcome to the big room. We're going to talk about these things. We're going to welcome you and say, that's not for me, but help me understand. And then if we have a conversation, it's like, I'll either disagree or agree, or just agree to disagree and say,
Yeah.
it's okay. I don't understand.
I mean,
One of the
there's
things with
definitely
me and this girl right here had to do with, different proclivities that we weren't in alignment with. And that it was like, this isn't our paths ran together for this long, and that they came together, and now they're diverging again. It's still to celebrate the year together that we shared things in common, and found understanding and comfort in each other. But to realize that this isn't a forever match. And so, if you love someone, you got to let them go to find their more suitable partner. And that's where we're at. So I do understand like some of it, but at the same time, like she would love to go to, like to the gay. There's several gay bars. There's actually, I think Pittsburgh is like very accepting of gay communities and trans communities. Like it's surprising. Like I don't. In fact, Pittsburgh has one of the first gay bars in America, and it's a spitting distance from this apartment right here in Lawrenceville. So and it claims to be the first in Pennsylvania anyway.
right.
So maybe America. I think it's Pennsylvania. Anyway, nonetheless, the point is that you realize what's for you and what's not, and you respect. This is the main thing is like with understanding, especially in any type of relationship, is trust. Because there's regardless of your freak factor, like there's and how you want to fly that flag, there's still it could go all the way from safe words to just hey, this I understand this, and I'm willing to experiment with that, but it's not for me. So but yeah, it's been a curiosity because I don't know what I don't even really know what I am. Like sometimes I might be in the mood to dom, but sometimes I might be in the mood to sub. It's like, but I definitely feel like I'm a monogamous guy, more than a polyamorous person, because I've had that opportunity and I've turned it down, and I realize the reasons why is through a lot of pre-programming and programming that I've had in my life through my upbringing, that I feel very uncomfortable exploring group sex. I feel so fucking awkward in those situations.
Right.
I do. I just like I'm not into. I'm like I don't want it. I don't seek it, and I don't want it, and I'm okay with like I'm seeking one partner, and I understand that's okay for me, and it's not for everybody. She was much more polyamory, and
Right.
okay with mom, and it's like that's I just can't go there. It's a hang up, and I feel like the last thing I want to say is that people talk about fetishes, and I will say this, and this is a recent realization, is that monogamy is just as much of a fetish as
There you go.
polygamy
That's
or
right.
polyamory. It's
That's right.
just a different choice.
Just a different turn on.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Totally.
the community, this particular kink community, which is like I mentioned to Mark earlier, the whole group is what is it again? 501c3.
C3.
Yeah, charitable organization. That's based around discussion and education of this kind of kink, so that it's not it's the focus of the content is not about playing and scenes or hookups or anything like that. The focus is the classes and then the social aspect
social
of
and
it.
psychological aspects of it.
Yeah, that's the first of it. Now, do things happen after hours? Of course they do.
Sure, because
You
that's
know,
it's an outlet. But it, and all things, when you start to remove the stigmatisms of why and start understanding the
Yeah.
why, and the why becomes an allowance.
yeah,
And it's like, you're not weird, you're not wrong.
yeah,
Yeah.
You're not
yeah.
wrong.
And
This
what?
is just how you've been. This is for whatever reason. I'm
Yeah.
not judging the reasons. This
Right.
is who you
Yeah.
are right now.
Yeah.
And there's a community that is in the same boat of who you are right now, which what turns you on, turns you off, what is, and it's not because, oh, well, shame. It's not a
Right.
Freudian shame by any means.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
these are the cards you've been
Yep.
dealt. These are your human responses, and the procreation, attachment, adoration, affection, attachments that comes with societies, your response to a society. And it's not wrong or right, because there is no perfect society. There's just a perfect response of acceptance
Yep.
of who you are, and you work towards being a complete balanced entity
Yeah, that's what kind
in
of
all
drew
of your
me
dimensions.
to this conference to be the first one that I attended, and I will
Because of
most
the
likely do.
psychological classes.
No, because the theme of it was diversity. Was
Oh,
that
yeah.
they made it
Gotcha.
known ahead of time, like, what we are focusing on in this is, all colors, all genders, all abilities, all beliefs and kinks, and everyone on the spectrum from pure, hey, I'm only here because I know I'm a dominant and I know that I like to control people, or I'm only here because I know I am an object to be used by my partner. That's what I enjoy, and everything in between, and that they, I mean, it's a great. I don't think I didn't get a T-shirt, but it was a great logo with just a bunch of interlocked arms, probably a dozen arms like interlocked in a circle, all of varying colors, and and so it was a great logo, and then to see the different classes of, like they had a class specifically on uh, people of color and slavery. So they had people talking about what does the word mean? How does the word, as it's used in this community, differentiate from the common understanding of the word? The one guy gave a great story about how he had been involved with a submissive of color for a while. It was another gay couple, and that the guy, in the bedroom was just crazy turned on by being treated like a slave, by being a slave, by being called a slave, by being chained up and all that. But outside the bedroom was like, don't even attempt to dominate me or tell me what to do. I mean, like that's another.
Right.
A lot of it is
It's the
that.
release, right?
Oh
I
yeah, and then
mentioned this earlier.
they made the differentiation
Mm.
between, some people make it their lifestyle literally around the clock. Like it doesn't matter if it's in the bedroom and it's intimate, or in the kitchen, or cleaning the house. There's always a dominant, submissive role being played by one partner or the other, but then they also differentiate. You can have a perfectly normal, quotes normal, public relationship, when you're having dinner or when you're going out to
We
mow
know
the
who wears the pants in
pants.
this family.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
samesies.
Yeah.
Just
So then when I got there, I actually got to see all the classes and go to a few and talk to a few people. I was, and so many, there were, I mean, there was probably two or three thousand people total was there,
Wow.
and had to
Oh.
be
That's awesome.
20, 25, 30 folks in wheelchairs, in different degrees,
Wow.
you know, and everything from
So cool.
different, you know, all the different gender, identifications, folks that were okay. That person identifies as a woman, okay, you know, and
Yeah.
they may not have been born that way, you
Right.
know, but yeah, and then there were even
Clearly.
some people there that you could tell. Even there were people who had issues with things.
Mm.
Like there were people that you could see when you know like a transgender person would walk by that maybe was born a guy but now identified as a woman was in the either transition process or had transitioned. And there were some people that when they would walk by, you'd see it. Some people just be like, "That's a man," and you'd be like, you definitely need to be here to talk because you're
Right.
kind of missing the point.
That's what it comes down to. You need to be around this more to realize that it's
Yeah,
not
to be,
your
and the fact that there were so
decision to
many,
decide.
yeah,
And for somebody else's decisions, you're not
yeah,
there to decide somebody else's decisions.
Mm.
yeah, and then there were so many
Of
classes that were about
personal
health,
acceptance.
about health, about making this something healthy. Whether it was just dominance submission, or like I said, objectification, or
Like mentally healthy.
yeah,
Mentally healthy,
yeah, mentally healthy, yeah,
not
like
physically healthy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Man, I
you
mean
know.
that is so important
And the
because
fact that they had the fact that they really focused on that they had multiple classes on how to identify someone in an abusive MS relationship. I thought that was
Mm.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Because
me too.
it's so
Yeah.
easy for I think anybody, the general public especially, but even folks in the community. I think that
Oh,
they
sure.
hear master, and then like Ad hoc said, you hear slave, and that immediately, just by the definition of the word,
Is the
brings
meaning
up a negative
could be
connotation.
a
You know,
negative, right? Correct.
yeah, but pointing out, that do they, you have to be open to listen. Like, does it seem like the person is happy, or does it seem like they're not? Like that
Mm.
was one of the first things they were talking about. Was like,
Mm.
like just try to get a feel for each side. A slave that's in a submissive that's in a situation, in a relationship where they are not enjoying themselves, it's going to become evident to you. They're not going to look happy. You're not going to see them smiling. Just the way they carry themselves or move, it's going to be a little different. You're going to get a vibe off of them. The one guy said, you're going to get a vibe of that. Just don't something doesn't feel right there. But if they're honestly enjoying themselves, they're going to be happy.
Hmm.
And it's so hard to fake real happiness.
Wow.
And so I just thought it was a very enjoyable and interesting
Certainly
weekend.
an open conversation. You love that. You thrive on that,
Yes.
BB.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you thrive on
I'll be right back.
whether it's accepting, whether I accept it or not. Be
Yeah.
open and let me deal with it. That's always been like your kind of mantra. So to be in that place, man, I could see that there were so many other people that were enjoying that same type of quest
Yeah.
of life, and that's, I think it's great. And I mean, I definitely like learn, some of those things from you, and being around you, is and also just accepting that, you know, not all of us are born into the bodies that we want.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clear, right? Like, you want this, you're dealt this. Here's your hand,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of, that's yeah, I love that about poker too. Like, it's like you got to play the hand you're dealt, and we all do.
Yeah.
And
And like I told T earlier, and then I got being able to meet some folks that I'd never met before, that I never knew before, and
mhm.
talk with them, and there's at least two that connected. They were like, "Hey, I want to give you my information. They'd like to be able to hook
Yeah,
up later. And
nice,
and very, I mean, just very,
fantastic. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, that's what you want to happen. I mean, when you go to a conference like that, you definitely want, you're there with very specific like-minded individuals, you know, that are there. Yeah, I mean, that's why they traveled there, and it's
Right. To
still
find
a
of like
niche.
mind.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, still niche, and this is an emerging type of how would you say it, like kind of understanding, right? Like the
Yeah.
definitions are still changing, and definitions will continue to change. For example, you know, interchangeably, arguably, slave, I mean, slave
Submission. Yeah.
and submission. Yeah, those are interchangeable terms. Why would you choose to use one or the other? Would be based on the person that you're dealing with, and they might want that extra type of whatever. They might like to prefer the one word to the
Specification.
other. I mean, we're against, you know, certainly racism of all forms
Oh yeah.
in the big room. No question about it. So if you have an association,
racism, sexism, any ism of that
Any
nature
ism.
does not fit. The big room isms don't have a home in the big room.
No.
First person I ever heard talk about, you know, against all isms is John Lennon. John Lennon was saying he's against any isms.
schism. Yeah. All we are saying.
Correct.
It's in that
Yep.
song. But yeah, man, you know, we're definitely about acceptance, and I think this is one of, you know, this is one of those things too. Like for me, like very recently, you asked me if I had a good week. It's the culmination of a year of awesome roadblock, lines crossed, their realignment, you know, through understanding or attempted understanding, running parallel again, and getting our wires crossed again based on verbiage, based on I wasn't clear enough when I spoke to the genie. You know, things like this. It's like words are important. Understanding is
Spellbinding.
important. And
Yeah.
well, I mean, you know, it's just what we want as individuals, and having a long-term partner. I've always said, like, relationships are fucking complicated, but at the root of all of them, gay, bisexual, straight, whatever, everything in between,
Human.
trust is at the foundation. So, regardless of your level of kink, and I do like this, and I hear this word bandied about more, even on dating sites. I was like, this one girl's like, you know, you need to match my level of kink. And it's like, okay, don't know what that is, but I could tell by your piercings or whatever. Like I can, you know, you can kind of get an idea of how they portray themselves, or
Sure,
maybe you can't, right? Because a lot of times there is a duality. And I met a gay guy in my day job driving who was like, believed that there's a lot of opposites, you know, and in that community that he's in, he's like, I believe, like, it's my experience, this is him speaking, that the more straight-laced people are during the day, the more kink they have in the bedroom.
Yeah.
That's in his experience in the gay room. I'm like,
That is a
I think
possibility.
that's a generality, but okay. You
Mhm.
know, it makes sense, right? Like, you know, yin and yang, sure, why not? But I think it's a generality. But nonetheless, everybody's individuals, everybody has life experience. It's important to recognize what, you know, what your psychology has done to you. And I'm fascinated by my own.
I'm fascinated.
You
in
know,
my own
I'm
right.
like,
yeah.
when I have to face something that I'm comfortable with, it's like, I'm not condemning anybody else. I realize it's something that's in me based on my psychology and my own insecurities of body or body shame and whatever else, that I can't indulge in this or don't have that level of kink. And what is kink but something that's outside of the norm?
Yeah.
And again, this country was set. It was attacked by these Puritans. So
Yeah.
there's a huge studies about American shame, body shame, and American body lust and pedestals, right? Where like, yeah, all of our media and everything is driven towards sex, but to partake in the forbidden fruit, is all in the same thing. There's shame in sexuality, but that's how we sell things on a day-to-day basis. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right,
Because it's a
right.
forbidden fruit, because you're not allowed to have it in your day-to-day life or talk about it. It's forbidden. It's so messed up. And boy, what does that do to children to not learn that what their bodies are going to do? And then their parents even shame them as they're going through it, and like, dude, Adam, ad hoc, did we ever get sat down and had what adult talk to us about where babies come from?
BB.
BB did. No, I think
BB.
it happened on the school steps with a Playboy magazine, or a magazine that was found, in the river.
Yeah, we're out shooting BB guns along the, and like it's like literally found.
From kids. Yeah, you find magazines and you find the
Yeah,
end
out in the
result of
fucking-
somebody's
I
kink,
found.
somebody's sexual outlet that they don't have it in their day-to-day life. So they need somebody else's experiences to be their own, to study how to express yourself as, a very emotional human being, because that's all we are, our spirit,
It's just
emotion, and body.
Everybody struggles.
So what is kink?
Every single
It's just a
person.
response of what you've been neglected, or something that has piqued your emotions, and so you seek that again. Some people do it through drugs. You know what I mean? They've been so numb their whole life, or been so
Which is
accented by life, they want to go numb, and they go into heroin, versus
Oh, yeah.
those who need excitement, they go to cocaine. It's just what you don't experience, you are going to seek out, and until you find a balance. And I'm talking about a feminine balance. I'm talking about a masculine balance, where it doesn't matter. It's just an experience, period. And it has nothing to do about parts. It has nothing to do about penetrating or being penetrated. It's about finding a balance of your acceptance of the experience of life, and accepting others in their process of accepting their experience of life, until they find a balance, period.
Oh
And
yeah,
we'll
there's
get
so there's as far as that community, this
there. We're getting closer and closer thanks to the internet.
yeah, and this whole kink community, all that. I would say that overall, more of the engagements or the experiences that people have with each other in that community do not end in some kind of, or do not at any point involve any kind of
Intercourse.
penetration or
Right.
intercourse, yeah, or even necessarily anything sexual. Do people still get excited at times with things that are not? Yeah, there's still an element of that, depending upon what their kink is. But yeah, I think that more than 50% of the interactions do not involve some sort of direct sexual intimacy or anything like that. That yeah, there's still plenty that do, and many of those don't involve any kind of intercourse. Or don't. A lot of them don't even involve any kind of culmination. An actual ending or an orgasm or whatever it is. I mean, there's a whole section on that too. I mean, that's a whole nother specific thing. But
Right.
it's definitely for the right people, and that's the thing too. Again, I think that seems to be all the people that I was lucky enough to meet this weekend are all that sort. They're not there just for the physical thrill of it. There's much more of a. You still use the word release. There's much more of a emotional release and releasing of stress, releasing of any kind of worry or concern or that sort of thing. They talked about that a lot in the healthy objectification class actually too, about how one of the things that the people who are into being objectified, like there was one black lady in the audience who spoke on uh, why she loved being objectified so much, and that it was that during her normal day, she deals with a lot of deep shit. She's like a nurse, and and there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of decisions that have to be made, and a lot of them are life deciding things. What needs to be done at this moment, and there's a lot of stress involved in that.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
if you find a partner that can understand where you're coming from and treat you like an object, that you are a thing, that thing doesn't have to worry about anything. They don't have to think about anything. They don't have to stress over anything. They just know that they're a cherished object. That's one of the other things that's key. You can't, it's not necessarily oh yeah, I want to use it, break it, throw it away. Although I think there's some people into that
Wow.
too. But
Of course.
just knowing I'm something, this person cares about this, but I don't have any say in what's going on right now. I'm just an object. And then they get to shut down that part of their brain. And then it's just a huge release of, for whatever it is, a half hour, an hour, 3 hours, however long they're in that space, that they don't need to. They don't need to stress or think about anything. So it's
I mean, it could be longer. You could have a whole
Oh, yeah.
relationship in which, when I
Right,
come
years.
home,
Right.
my partner takes care of everything. The
Yeah.
food's done, right? It's a role, really. It's I
oh
mean,
yeah.
we see it in patriarchy, and we are in a. T, you mentioned this earlier. Patriarchal versus matriarchal societies. But America's, the man is the leader of the household. So we were taught for so many years until capitalism demanded that both partners work. And then all of a sudden, this conversation happens in which, if we're both contributing and then we're both equals economically to our success, we're partners, or sometimes the maybe in the female makes more, and then are you all of a sudden the sub because you're a man? Like, these fucking
No, just because
things,
of your monetary
just
income.
because of the monetary doesn't make you. So yeah, it gets confusing because we don't have this training in America. We don't have these discussions in America.
No.
Our history has been very one-sided in that the man is the provider, and especially our generation, right? Like the new generation is, things are changing, and I see it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
being that everybody in this room is around 50 years old, half a century.
Yep.
I feel, man, honestly, it took this long. Like when I was 40, I didn't see that much change, but now at 50, it's like, man, I really feel a health. I really
What was
feel.
that?
I don't know what that was. Where'd that come from? You heard it too. I was like, that's what
Yeah, I heard it too.
Okay. I really feel a healthy disconnect from, the whatever they're calling the
Living
young
in the
gen-
city
younger
helps.
generation.
Living
My
in the
nephew's
city helps.
generations.
Oh yeah.
But it's a healthy
You know,
disconnect. Like I see
I
their own
agree.
identity. I see, this whole thing. Like it's challenging. Maybe not for us three, because we have had these type of discussions that we're having right now. Our entire,
and I think we've always felt
lives.
as the outsider to begin with. You know
sure,
what I mean? Where
and
we
we've
kinda,
tried to understand that. But for most people our age, man, they're probably going through some type of catharsis right now with their children or their nephews or whatever. If they've really been more indoctrinated and haven't left the former indoctrination vehicles that exist, mostly I speak, of course, religion and religious basis as whatever.
dogmatic group sect
Yeah, like
of
when you're talking about
tribal
non-binary,
acceptance.
their minds are probably fucking exploding all over, like silently, like, God, and
Yeah.
have and causing them to go into some type of mental break.
Priesthood or nunnery,
Yeah. Well, another thing that they talked
and
about
to be accepted by God. You know what I mean? Like so much
yeah,
shame that they have to go into the priesthood and swear, become celibate, which only means that
We've seen the
thank
end
God
result of
I
that.
thank God I don't have to be heterosexual, and now I'm married to God.
Right.
Oh yeah, their belief.
I don't have
that,
to deal with my
their
gay
belief
shame.
that
I don't have to
their
be
own-
shamed because I'm gay because I'm married to God.
Yeah, their
And God's a
belief-
man. Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, their belief
What?
that they were so wrong because of the way they feel or who they're attracted to.
Yeah.
That and they feel and their belief system puts this. Hold on 1 second while I take this sip.
You hold on 1 second while I get my ice.
Hold on 1 second while I get my slur on.
While I get my slur on.
Sure, hand to K Rock. Sherry's Theron. It ain't the wine, Kevin.
It wasn't the wine, Kevin. It wasn't the wine.
Thunder Road.
That's a good drink.
So what are you drinking there?
Black Manhattan.
Yeah,
It's a
BB Manhattan.
a rye bourbon and some Amaro vermouth.
Yeah. Getting itchy here with this hair. hat.
But what the hell were we talking about a second ago? Oh yeah, but people's
yes.
believing, yeah, that
Mhm.
that they're shame that their families, their religions implanted in their mind so deep that when they react to someone that they find attractive on whatever level, if that person isn't the right gender in their head,
And that's optical.
yeah, optical, yeah,
fit.
yeah,
1 out of
mean,
5 senses.
yeah, then
Correct.
then there is something wrong with them. There's something wrong with them, and they either have to find some kind of treatment or choose a celibate way of life in the priesthood, because God will judge them, inappropriately
Yeah.
otherwise.
So
Brian,
Yeah,
why
and-
don't you
and-
write BB, why don't you write a new good book?
I do.
the new good book.
The new way.
Yeah,
Write the book that will
Look, I'm-
that will lead the next 3,000 years. Can
I
you
understand what you're
please do
saying.
that? Because God damn, it's needed.
Here's the thing. I believe I'm a good man. I don't know I'd be that great of a god.
You don't need to be a god. You just need to write the next
You need to be
BB
an
scrolls.
apostle.
So the deep sea
I don't
scrolls,
know.
just the
The
BB
way.
scrolls.
I don't
No
know that I'd
way.
be that great.
The
of an
Tao.
apostle.
The new Tao. It's just honest.
But what
flight.
I was going to say when we started? But I know what you're saying, dude. I've thought about that.
There,
sort of
there needs to be a new book written that people
one of the
follow
things that
because
they
people
talk
want to
about-
follow something. People want to feel part of something. And
Yeah, look at
and-
Scientology.
And we're in a new
Wow.
age now. There needs to be a fucking Aquarius book of the Bible. Like,
One of the
Well,
things
that's what Joseph
Air.
Campbell always said, that the
Right.
reason why dogmatic religions were breaking down is because they couldn't evolve with the times, and that's what happened in the
Right.
past. You know, they were told through what society
there were
could relate
decisions.
to,
There were
And you brought up-
decisions
and then they
made.
you
stopped.
brought up hair
There were
too.
decisions made
play hair.
2,000 years ago about which writings to include in a book. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there were books that were included that were part of the Bible that no one has really read, well, on a mass scale, in thousands of years,
Yeah,
because a group of individuals, a group of men,
man.
decided, no.
Yeah, we can't learn.
include this in there. But one of the things at the conference that again really attracted me to the whole thing was that they stressed about that for people who are struggling with the concept of diversity, and whether it's someone in a wheelchair being part of a scene, or whether it's someone that is was born one way but identifies as something else, is that it's key for those people who are struggling to start with just acceptance. even if they don't understand. So if they don't necessarily
Allowing.
understand,
Acceptance means allowing.
yeah, you don't need to understand
I don't need to control somebody
how was
else's
someone
decisions.
born a male, but identifies and plays as a female. You don't need to you don't necessarily need to understand that. You just need to accept it. You just need
No
to
more
go,
than people need to understand how you were born with muscular dystrophy.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
You don't
But
need to
the thing,
understand the fucking physics or the science of it. Just fucking it is. The person is different than you, right?
yeah. I mean,
It's allow.
the one guy told a story about that there was a girl partner that they had that was in a wheelchair and that had also had muscular dystrophy, and that they were very much into objectification to the point that they understood that, and their partner understood that one of the things that they loved, that this particular woman liked, was if her owner would roll into a club with her, push her into a club or whatever, and that if it was a play club, if it was something where they could go to a room or go up onto a stage and play, that she loved. Oh, Alex, still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
you
stopped
disappeared from
moving.
my screen. Yeah, you
Not
actually
mine.
went black on my screen. Was that she loved to be just dumped out of her chair. She loved to be like dumped out of her chair and then physically rolled around or pulled around on the stage to where they wanted her. And she loved it. And that,
Wow.
he was like, I'll never forget, like a couple of
Woo!
That can be seen in
they said that
opposition.
a couple
Yeah.
of there were a couple of times that they're actually called DMs, the dungeon masters that
Right.
run the clubs.
Yeah.
Like the day stopped, like he was like, they stepped in, they stopped the scene. So like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, and checked with her, like, are you
Right.
okay? And she's like, no, this is totally, I love this, and they're like, okay, well, we're here if and then they just let it play on after that, but.
Well, she should have cued the DMs prior to that. So okay, live and learn.
Yeah, someone should have. Yeah. But still, it's.
But
You don't
still,
need to
yeah, like we don't get to decide what's right for that person.
Different
This is the whole
strokes
thing, right? We're
for
all
different folks.
different strokes for different folks, and like if we're all creators,
Yeah.
we're all made in God's image. God has multiple images, and you get to decide. You get to decide what's right for you. That's the beauty of being in your body, even when it's not the fucking optimal body that every magazine fucking shows us across the world.
Oh yeah.
Right. That other subconscious programming bullshit. But in all honesty, I do believe it all comes down to these are the cards you're dealt with. You're not a victim to what you've been dealt with.
Yeah.
This is something that you need to, in order to have a healthy mindset, the first law of a healthy mind is acceptance. Correct. Is acceptance. Once
Of
you
your
can
own
accept
cards.
it, you are not correct. Once you are accepting of your world as God of my
And you can
world,
play it.
Nikki and Mallory, that's Natural Born Killers. Once you become God of your own world, you've accepted the laws of that world. And once you accept the laws of your perception, then you can start altering what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with. Our emotions are in place in order to tell us when we are out of our natural soul vibration of what we accept and do not accept. When you become attuned with your emotions, then you know what you are willing to deal with and tune into, or what you tune out of, and you become a victim. You're either a victor or a victim, or you are in a complete alliance with your perception. And the more you become in alliance with accepting your situation, the more you become in control of the next situation and the next situation, because you know what you like and what you do not like, what your emotional standpoint is. No, I love this because it is out of balance with my every other moment in life. You know, when you become that balance, I mean, that's what the 7 Hermetic Principles are all about, just fucking finding that pendulum swing, you know, and getting it to be in your own control and being one with each fucking like emotional the emotional roller coaster of it. You don't judge it. You see it for what it is and you roll with it. That's also Stoicism. You know, it's all the great minds and Taoism. All of the minds talk about that. Just being
Those isms
good
are
with
okay.
it.
We'll take
the pain.
we'll take those isms.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
is right.
those isms,
Stoicism,
right? It's not all
right,
the
and
isms.
Taoism.
Yeah, nothing's absolute.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah, with the ism statement.
I'm gonna
earlier.
take that. I want to clip that monk bit right there, and then rewatch it and slow it down because my drunkenness just kicked in. Because I switched over to tequila,
Oh, nice.
Ooh,
and I finished the bottle. I finished.
beauty. Hey, we are at the 2 hour and 22 mark and 44 second. So I'd just like to say thank you, everybody, for being here in the big room. And I also want to say that wherever you are, even I'm offended by the word kink. I'm because I think it's actually just it refers
Preference?
to a kink. No, it's a kink in your armor.
Yeah,
And I
I don't.
you know,
I don't like the word too, TK. I'm like.
and I think
it's
maybe
just- I
that's
don't
where
like
we
it.
were raised as it being something wrong.
Negative.
To be honest
Yeah,
with you, because it was
you're
kink.
kinky. Like what the fuck?
It
bro?
also, and to be on honesty, I loved that word so much because it drew me towards it because
Yeah.
we were denied it, and so it's that same thing. And but so when you say something is kink, a kink in the armor, something that is glossed over and a protective shell, it gets through that protective shell and makes it a little more human and a little more unique. So once we observe our uniquenesses and accept them, it's fucking
Yeah.
great. There's nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. So I've been watching The Sandman, and I watched episode 10 last evening where they're
is
at the
that?
cereal convention.
It's from the oh yeah.
Is that
Right.
the Neil Gaiman or?
Correct.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman, yeah.
Yeah. There's on Netflix. There's a series.
Yeah. It's
the
on
Sandman
my
series.
to watch lists.
You watch it. It's
Yeah, it's
really
good.
very.
I started
interesting.
The Rings. I started the.
So it did come out. I just found
Is
out
that on
about that
now?
today.
I didn't know it was live yet.
2 episodes in.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it is.
it's-
That looks
it's-
beautiful.
It's really
How is
good
it?
because they did a great. They are doing a fantastic job with matching the lighting to the green screen backgrounds.
Oh, that's huge.
You know, I mean, yeah, because
And
it
my
is
kids.
huge. So because the whole thing about fantasy movies is not getting thrown out of the suspension of disbelief, right?
Right.
Which means you get engaged in the story, not like
Right.
something fucking weird that happens spectrally. That's like, oh fuck, this is like it's just off, and it matches. They're whoever the lighting dudes are and the camera dude, they're fucking in
Well, I can
sync,
tell you part.
and it looks
I can
awesome.
tell you why that's happening.
And you
because-
can get into the story. Give it about halfway. I will say, give it about the first episode's an hour, the second episode's an hour. Get through the first half hour, and then you'll be
good.
in there. Yeah,
Okay,
that's how
good.
I felt. That's how I felt.
Part of that lighting thing that has been it's a new move. You know, these light rooms, these LED rooms. They're what are they called? Or they're in the process of trying to get one built in Johnstown in order to bring this technology
Yeah.
for film to Johnstown, where the entire room is like it's a dome. You know what I mean? And you can, it's essentially you're in a jumbotron. You know what a jumbotron is? The screens, like a jumbotron.
A jumbotron green screen. Where is that what you're saying?
No, you take out you don't need a green screen because the background is digitally. It is the atmosphere.
Oh, wow.
It's the landscape itself.
Yeah.
And so therefore the lighting you could always have that perfect lighting because the dome itself, where the sun is an accurate digital. It's pushing the exact same sunlight, white, blue light, versus what's behind you, and that the fake landscape behind you is pixelated, on a jumbotron screen.
It's not supposed to be pixelated. It's supposed to be blurred. I mean,
but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. And then
it's
that's where the
visualizable.
diffusion of the little bit of smoke in the dome and what the camera lens and the little whatever works.
Yeah, the new
But
Star
yeah,
Trek
these
series,
LED
I haven't been on one
domes.
of those sets yet.
the new Star Trek series, Strange New Worlds, was what was, by my understanding, is the one that started developing that whole room thing.
The technology.
Yeah, where they created this, you know,
Wow.
a completely
Basically a holodeck. It's fucking
yeah,
holodeck.
completely enveloped, technology where they could project whatever they wanted, and they talked about exactly what he was just talking about. That they don't need to worry too much about where are we putting the lights
of
and
day.
whatnot, because the screens actually project the light into the set where they're filming the way it should be. Then they just need to worry about highlighting here and there so it's clear for the camera
Wow.
and whatnot.
That's
But they
dope
don't
as
need to
fuck.
worry
I mean,
about having.
wait, these are union jobs that are going to be taken away.
So you're saying that the dome
Yeah, it's
is not you're not projecting onto the white wall. The white wall is a screen that's projecting light. So you have light emitting diodes, which is an LED.
Yes,
That's what an
LEDs,
LED
yep.
is.
Yeah.
The light emitting diode that's actually through. Okay, that
Uh-huh.
I see.
Right.
Okay, so you have curved LED screens. Yeah, that makes sense. That's fucking
Right.
wow. All right, yeah, that's fucking
Yeah.
all right. That's next level.
And
That is the next. That is definitely the future of production then, because that totally makes sense in my mind. And I've been involved. I've been
You've been
interested.
on a lot of movie sets.
Yeah, I've been on a lot of movie sets, and I've been interested in movies long before I've been in movie sets. So,
and
yeah,
the
trying
actors,
to figure out how it's done. Is
the
always
actors,
look
like
behind
the
the curtain.
next, there's the Strange New World actors were talking about it and saying that it's an unbelievable asset to them as well,
Right.
because
Yes.
they get on set and they're like, and it's and a couple of them are like, it is very difficult to tell where the screen begins. Like, where does the floor end and where does the screen begin?
Mhm.
Because it's so digitized directly to what it's supposed to look like.
Wow,
That
that's fucking hot.
It's super easy. They're like,
Holy
we
shit!
get
It's
there,
fucking
and even-
holodeck. They're stepping
Yeah.
into holodeck.
and they project it
Fuck.
at 360, even if this part of it's not on camera. If that part's not going to be filmed at all, they still project it on there.
They still map it out.
So that all the
digitally,
lights,
yeah.
all the lights and reflections are right.
Yeah,
they were
that
like- they
so
were like-
makes
they-
fucking sense, man.
Yeah, they will get on there and they will actually believe I'm in a 150-foot long,
Hell fucking
cargo
yeah.
bay right now.
Right.
So, okay, now let's just project here. No pun intended. Is this the future of Airbnbs and a type of vacation? And I'm going to relate this to a Young Ones episode where there were two elder gentlemen on a raft floating through on the sea. They were looks like they were shipwrecked, right?
Right.
And then
that was the actual name of the episode, Shipwrecked.
now, but I think it was Flood.
Okay.
And but then one of the young ones goes down into the basement and opens up the door and is like, what the fuck are you guys doing in here? And it snaps out of their world reality that they're having this vacation, and it is a play. They're doing a role, or they actually believe that they're, but nevertheless, but they're in a room and all of their senses are being told, our weak ass 5 senses are being fed information
Right.
that you're at another location. And this is what's helping actors get into the role, because they're not wearing a suit with balls all over them and a one color slot and somebody holding a stick with an ogre head.
Look
at 9
here.
foot.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? But now you have your realm
Yeah.
and all of its beautiful
So
details.
more and more movie production becomes pre-production, meaning
Right.
you're sending that to the guys to create the fucking background. So historically,
It's all digitized. So now it's all programs.
and then do the background second. But now it's like do the background first and then bring in the actors, because we have these rooms that can
Correct.
actually respond, and we're going to get a much better performance.
But
You heard
again,
it first here on the Big Room, people.
You heard it here first.
If you
now
haven't heard
this
it
is the
before,
future.
then
If you
you're
haven't
hearing
heard it yet, this is what the Big Room's
This is
going to
the
make
first
our
time you're
billions
hearing
in.
it, then
We're
you're hearing
making
it first on the Big
Airbnb moments in these rooms. We're going to give experiences in those rooms,
Yeah,
and
it's
we're
a
going
great
to
idea,
first
Mom.
reach out to the kink community.
Yeah.
Because they have, and it's not just about sexuality. It's those people that get dressed up in night outfits and beat the fuck out of each other. You know what I mean? It's those people that want to be in other realms and other worlds, and you provide them with the scenery. Right? That's
And
what we
when
did for
those-
your birthday party last weekend. Now imagine if we were in the realm, the dome,
Oh man.
right? And we were at the big room. We were at the keep, and it was all digitized, and Terry
I'll
was
tell
in the
you.
distance. You know what I mean? And Bubby
Lil
was there,
Larlar. Oh my god. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
but it's all digitized.
Yeah.
Right? Because there are photographs, so you can digitize them
Yeah,
now,
if you're rich
and
enough.
you can't interact with them. They're just kind of in. Oh, there goes BB.
Oh yeah, BB
dropped
just
out.
disappeared. There's a thing. There's an app I just saw. There's two. Well, the one
There, you're
app
back.
was somebody. You take your driver's license
Uh-huh.
and you put it in front of you put your camera on it, and it does that thing where like oh man, what movie was it? It animates your driver's license,
yeah.
but it makes your eyes look
I
back
just-
and forth, and
yeah.
then like
I
You
just saw
kinda
that
do
with
this.
a Robert Johnson. There's like 2 photographs in existence of Robert Johnson, with the cigarette.
yeah,
But this one, he's like smoking and kind of looking around and kind of look down at his guitar.
yeah,
It's like, okay,
yeah.
this is total. What was the
It
what was the Arnold Schwarzenegger
It's
movie?
like Total Recall.
No, before that, Running Man.
Running Man.
Oh, okay. Man, that's really going back there.
Yeah,
But,
where they digitized faces over different things so that they
Oh,
framed
right.
they framed
Right.
it for
Like,
crime it didn't
It's very
commit.
much like the pictures in Harry Potter movie
Oh yes,
where
there you
he's
go.
he's,
Right.
yeah that's it looks just like that. Like it's like the most.
So again, simulation theory. Here we
yeah,
are.
we're basically cracking our own code.
Right, of what we
Um,
believe
well,
interaction is.
What we
Thought
believe,
interaction.
but what we believe it is. But will we ever know our creator?
Who the fuck
The
cares?
question we'll never know. But what we will know is if we can figure our own dynamic out to recreate our own simulations. I don't fucking know. I don't know. The whole thing just becomes like, that fractal image. It just keeps going on in infinity, holding
I
two mirrors
think-
together. But it's like worlds created, universes creating universes. I don't fucking know.
I think in all of that is the more information you have, the more bit you have from 8-bit, right?
Mhm.
Okay. The more information you have,
Yeah,
the more
if bits are
details you
information,
have
More details.
to
Yep,
differentiate
for sure.
how things actually flow together, right? From cubes to pixels to seamless. And the more information you have, you see how actually things are completely in flow together. Until you have so much information, you start realizing that there is no separation. And
I
this is
do
all just a
believe-
mind construct of digitized separation between a very flawed system of 5 points of info that we're working with in this meat sack.
My personally, like, and you talk about meat sales, but like we're organic. We still have in our generation, we still do have organic and digital, and then we'll move into that kind of Blade Runner era where the lines get blurred even more between robots and synthetics and
Energy.
organics. No, synthetic humans.
I know.
And
But what's
then
running each?
but then we'll move into just a digital. But I think our
Digital is energy.
evolution, I think our evolution is to become robotic.
Listen. Okay.
Or
Possibly.
holographic. don't
I
fucking
think really what it comes down to, I think our evolution is to realize that we have no true form. And it's the space in between what we're able to perceive is what we truly are. I mean, if you look at a molecular structure, I mean, we're pretty much 99.98 repeating empty space, right? The only thing that stops me from moving through my head or any other object is different. It's being repulsed by different mini vortexes.
gravitons. Yeah, it's gravitons.
Well, what did Tesla say? If you want to understand the universe, it's energy, frequency, and vibration. So, nevertheless, there's more negative space than actual objects. So once we come to the conclusion that we are this space in between, then we stop looking at organic, inorganic, male, black, white, male, female, organic, inorganic, and start realizing that it's the energy that connects us. We're a very limited program looking at the differences instead of the samesies of things. And we use language to decipher samesies. We use emotional responses to differentiate samesies. And really what it comes down to, it's a thought process. When we can align our thought processes, the convention that BB was just at is about aligning thought processes to being okay with what your perception of yourself is. You know what I mean? We're right now thankfully championing those who have realized that their mind is not their body. Okay. And that they are, I don't identify as my physical limitations. Period.
Oh yeah.
If you're identifying with your limitations as a black, white, Asian, male, female, doesn't matter.
This guy right here is like, right? Like you never identified as his
whatever your capabilities or incapabilities are. If you're limiting yourself by it, then you are not in a free flow state of being. You're not in a free flow state of being, right? Yep. You're not one with the Tao. You're not one with the Chi because you're out of flow. Somebody's fucking your Chi because they're telling you that you're incorrect in something that you were born into, and it's really it's all a mindset. And so if you can put your mind into a machine, whatever, I don't fucking, because I don't believe in the machine. I don't believe in the body. That's a belief structure as well. You know what I mean? Solid versus we're getting on another level. But my point is we're going to evolve outside of what we can perceive, and it's just energy. And there's energy being where's the energy? The energy that we run in machines to connect each other is just a evolutionary pattern of us perceiving connection. And if we manifest it as an object that looks like this, then that's what our limited capacity minds are viewing our energetic mindset as a tool to connect us the way a hand wave connected us across a field. This meant friendly.
So that
across a field.
We can create universes within universes, and we're already doing that on Earth.
And
is what the
fractaling it and realizing that the more you fractalize it, the more it's going to blur into one continuum of sameness. And right now it's really hard because we went from duality to another to
Right.
another. It was just gay and
Man.
straight, and
Right.
then lesbian and gay, and then queer, and LGBTQ
Yeah.
plus, and then this, and then this, and then kink, and then this, and then this, and then the
So
more you
here's the cool
fractalize
thing.
all of this, it's just programs on programs on programs on programs
Yeah.
that just
And here's the
relate
cool
to
thing.
a single thought vibration
I feel like we look
of
back
sameness.
to the frontier days of America, and it
Right.
looks so fucking awful to live in that gunslinging lawless society. But we watch movies on it. It's like, yeah, that would have fucking sucked. Everybody's getting raped, and like, it's just like, hey, this is my land. No, it ain't. There's a lot of that shit going on.
And then in the end, they're all dying because the land itself is stronger than the human anatomy, right? And they all die in the winter.
True. I feel that we are at a crossroads of our oh my gosh, what is it?
Consciousness?
It's an evolution and we're at this crossroads right now. Speaking of Robert Johnson, but it's crossroads of
Nice.
man, like just a future probably I don't know so much that we don't understand. I wanted to take it back to what you said, TK, about man. Okay, so there's things about Bitcoin and like other currencies, and like these are currencies that'll be exchanged in virtual worlds. So you can own not only property on Earth, but you can earn virtual property in a different dominion.
It's a belief system.
That people can interact and like never leave their physical bodies, but they're in this digital world the whole time. So even though there's worlds within worlds within worlds within worlds of consciousness, and what I mean by that is like if you're into Jesus, you're gonna find other Jesus people. There's houses built for you. If you're into fucking trap houses, there's trap houses for you. If you ain't into it, you ain't never gonna be part of that culture.
Right.
There's
radio stations for everybody,
are
man.
you into heroin? Yeah, there's radio stations. There's exactly
Frequencies for everything.
Frequencies. Yes, the frequencies of the world.
Yeah.
And as you tune through them, it's like I'm into fucking heroin. You tune into other people that are into heroin, and you find each other, and you create this fucking world within this little pale blue dot, as Carl Sagan deemed it, which I love, because it's just this like little pale blue dot that's like floating freeform in this shooting gallery of asteroids. And it's fucking crazy that none of us as Earthlings work together to defend ourselves on our shared humanity. And that that supersedes and overrides and should what's the word I'm looking for? Our own differences. Yeah. So,
we're all fighting for a fractal chunk of a pale blue dot in a sea of,
and now it's getting
countless
countless
stars, which means countless planets.
But it's gonna get more complex. We haven't been able to unify right now, and it's gonna get more complex because there's not only kinks that make people feel like, oh, you're different than me, instead of saying, it's just a choice and we're both unique.
It's coming
without pointing a finger, but also these different worlds, like with different currencies and shit, like NFTs. It's like where you're owning a digital print of something, and it's hard for us to struggle to get our minds around it right now. But 10 years from now,
it's going to be.
They'll get it. And 100 years from now, bruh, hopefully we'll have a fucking defense net up to protect our pale blue dot in the shooting gallery of asteroids, to protect us from the asteroids, so that we can all plug in and go into our worlds safely and just and have some type of communal and peaceful existence within that world without judgment and just people understanding that, everything's a choice, right? Like, so what's right for you is not right for me, not because it's not right
No, this is
by
free will.
a devil or a god,
Right.
but but because I've been, because of
It's
my
part of the learning experience.
what makes me
It's part of the
unique
experience.
has set me up to believe these things are like right and wrong for me.
It's part of the
That's
learning
the thing,
experience.
man.
Yeah.
Learning experience, but also accepting that all of us are frailties, and some of them we're unconscious of. Some of them are because of the programming that we've received from our parents that were inept, or our religion that was inept, that we were indoctrinated in. And whatever the fucking case may be,
Information given.
it's limited information. So
Correct.
it's not even that it's inept. I might update that to say it's
Did the best it could.
uninclusive.
It just
Yeah,
believed what it could.
Just limited.
Outdated.
It's outdated.
Just limited. Just
Limited.
it's a sliver of information. But if you believe that sliver of information, if you're brought up to believe that sliver of information is the be all end all Bible of existence, you're kind of fucked.
You're kind of fucked.
You're kind of
You're outdated software. You're
instantly
you're Cro-Magnon. You're evolving. And that's why, it's, I think it's always been this way. The loudest individuals are the ones that know that they are being left behind.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I was going to say that they're. I don't know that they're left behind, but it's that they themselves are unwilling to move forward.
So therefore,
I mean, but those are no one. It's just it's not like there's a choice being made on anybody's part saying or just leave them behind. The people that are moving forward would absolutely welcome them to please move forward, keep going.
But those belief systems are irrelevant. So therefore, you drop them from what you carry with you, and therefore you leave that thought process behind. And if you're dogmatic and that is who I am. I am this. I am the cross. I am my this. I am this ism, and you can't move past it. Then, just like that belief system, that burden, that limited thought, that human adheres to it so much that frequency just fizzles out into nothing. So it's not, it's not that they're not. We ask them to come along.
It's
we're open to them.
But it's not a choice on our part. It's just we've made a. This is where we're going. We're headed that way. Come on. Oh, you don't want
the
to?
only constant in the universe is change.
Yeah.
The only constant is change.
If you're afraid of change, if you're terrified of change, which is what it is, it's a fear. I mean, it's fear that winds up holding them. It's not stubbornness or anger or even hatred. It's fear that winds up. It's because hatred, in most of those cases, that hatred is born from fear.
Correct. You're taking my comfort away from me. And comfort is a limited idea.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable because I'm white and I'm male and I'm some sort of Christianity. And I have a lot of comfort in knowing that I have this pseudo hierarchy or a dom. I'm a dom.
Yeah.
Right. And once you take my dom away as a white male, I start getting very fear driven because I don't know what's next anymore.
Yeah.
I can't perceive something new. You're taking my comfort zone away.
Yeah, that
by
changes.
coming into my country and stealing my jobs. And hey, listen, Trump, this person is about the oil industry and the fossil industry, and PA jobs are fossil industry and oil industry
Yeah.
and coal industry, and you're
My
taking my
granddaddy-
jobs away. My granddad, and that's the way it was. Sure, my granddaddy and his wife and everybody died of black lung, and everything was coated. They, it wiped off the coal dust, off of everything in Pittsburgh on a daily basis, and you couldn't put an apple outside, like all the fruit on the trees were dying, and that's not the point. And we liked it.
Yeah. We got paid good. We knew what we were doing. We knew what to expect.
We were beautiful
my
slaves
dad,
for the
my
industry.
dad, my grandfather did it. My dad did it. I did it. And now you're trying to tell me that my boy won't be able to do it.
We got property from it. I own houses from it.
Yeah.
Generational. We are patriarchal, significant.
Yeah, and it's actually a thing where they don't. What's my boy going to do then? If you take away the coal industry, what's my boy going to do for
something you haven't perceived yet?
Yeah,
and allow them something you haven't perceived yet, and be fascinated as they're fascinated by it.
Yeah, you're trying to take away our way of life. No, we're trying to show you that your grandfather's way of life no longer applies.
Because it was flawed.
Yeah.
You've got to remove these flaws that are not in alignment with your little blue dot.
Yeah.
If you're killing your little blue dot, that is a recipe for
100.
What? Money that doesn't exist. Currency,
but
current. It's an energy.
Everything is flawed, right? Everything has flaws. Is everything perfect? No. Humanity is flawed. However, there's an evolution of like progressive change to where it's like when we recognize something that we can do better, then we should embrace that instead of going, well, this is the way it's been. And that is a difference in mindset. Some people cling to the old ways and resist change. Some people embrace
conserve.
If you can admit that change is the only constant in the universe, then it's probably you're probably somebody I want on my side, because we can have a conversation that we can all evolve as technology continues to present new opportunities.
Yeah.
And most importantly, allow yourself to be wrong.
Oh,
as you learn a new way.
Yeah. I mean, when you take a look at technology and you think there are people's grandfathers who's their grandfather. So my grandfather's grandfather, right? My grandfather's grandfather existed in a time in America where if you wanted to go from here in Pittsburgh to San Francisco, it would take you months.
Good fucking luck.
Right? And you might not fucking make it. You might not make it. And if you did, it was going to take you months. You didn't go to San Francisco for a vacation. There was no such thing as going to San Francisco for a vacation.
Hell no.
Maybe if you hopped on the train, you could be there in about 3 weeks. That was oh man.
And having a conversation with that person who has that limited reality, what are they going to be dogmatic about?
Correct.
And with our future selves, it's like, dude, you're a fucking fool. You're limiting yourself. But
there were certainly people who didn't believe in this. People are going to get into machines that fly like a bird. That's what you're telling me. Not a balloon, but some kind of mechanical device that you believe you guys are fucking crazy. That they're going to fly through the air. How are they going to stop? How are they going to stop? They're going to crash. That's how they're going to stop.
An airplane?
Okay.
You're crazy and I hate you.
Yeah, there's only one way to stop. If you're flying through the air in a plane, there's one way to stop.
I hate you.
Yeah. You're threatening my wagon business.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I'm making good money.
I'm making good. My boys make wagons and you're trying to build some kind of satanic flight device that takes.
What's going to do with the road crew jobs? You're trying to take my way of life as a road crew job.
Yeah, a rail worker.
Pittsburgh is proving that incorrect every day.
every
even
time,
with
yeah.
the air, with the flight industry.
Yeah, yeah. Pittsburgh is definitely a evolver. You know, Pittsburgh will evolve to find its place.
So when we were in DC, there's the Ultra Loop. So we were at one museum that was about tech of the future,
Oh, sure.
and yeah, there we were in studying the Ultra Loop. That's going to connect
The bullet
things.
train between.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, so many places.
Yeah.
Yeah. In like a half an
connect
hour,
what? Wait,
you'll
what's
be,
what's
in
gonna connect?
Chicago.
It's like the bullet train. Pittsburgh's actually involved in that conversation as well between Pittsburgh, Chicago, and New York, where Pittsburgh would be
Wow.
one of the stops on it, and that you'd be able to you'll be able to go from Pittsburgh to Chicago in roughly 30 minutes. It's a 30-minute ride.
This is a tube, and it actually is elevated somewhere in the stratosphere in a way that it alleviates a lot of this different pressure. I mean, I really wish I could wrap my brain around it, and it has to do with magnets and air pressure, and you're moving at a tremendous rate.
It's basically it's a new way to execute people. That's all it is.
And eliminate the tire industry.
Right. That's what it is.
I'm selling rubber to tire industry, and you're trying to take my jobs, killing rubber trees.
Give me another space beer, glib glop.
Glib glop.
Right.
Yeah, it's totally that. It's totally, but yeah, it's a
Well, I mean, there's a lot of flaws in in a vacuum tube. If there's any, I mean, they'll be solved. They'll be solved
eventually. Look at SpaceX.
Yeah, I mean,
you could land a rocket now, for Christ's sakes.
For instance, if you had a right now, we're thinking there's a metal tube. Metal is rigid. If there's any hole and you have a vacuum tube, it will decompressurize the whole fucking thing. But
how do you fix it?
What we don't see is that metal will be replaced by an organic skin-like material that will heal when it's punctured instantly. That's what we don't fucking see. We don't see that right now in 2022. But when it does, and that tube is more like a vein than a metal fucking pressurized tube, then it makes sense.
That's a great
self-sealing tube. It'll might jar the ride a little bit and create turbulence, but it's not going to fucking throw you out and destroy everybody from juncture point to juncture point.
There's a wonderful movie that pushes this. What do they call that? It's
Conversation.
What's it called? When
theorization.
Christ, Bjork had one of her names of her albums, where it's where all of society is built off homogeneism, something like that, where it's exactly what you said, where it's all these living organic instead of you're building out of inorganic. As we looked at the Stone Age and then the Iron Age, and eventually we're going to be in an organic age, just like you were saying. You can't. And there's a Will Smith film. It's him and Jaden, his son, and they get stranded on this planet, and they have to, get to a certain point. But the design of the ship is organic. Their suits are organic. All their tech is based off of, these homogenic.
Well, I mean, it's still synthetic, but it will behave organically. So we'll look at
stem cells. It's like saying what are stem cells?
Yeah,
but it's
designed the more to behave more like
and even if it's nanobots, merging, with organic material, and then you have your Blade Runners. But nevertheless,
exactly,
more human than human. It's all perception. But
blurred lines that we can't see from our own current perspective. And for us in the big room to say that's impossible, we're acknowledging we're instantly like admitting our own ignorance. You know what I mean, right?
And look how we're hanging out right now.
Right.
I'm looking into your eyes like I was trained
We're in a
to look
virtual
into the
big
eyes.
room.
The way we were
Hey!
trained to look into the eyes of Farrah Fawcett and believe that she was a real super spy, right?
Mm,
We were trained to stare at a rectangle and believe it to be real life.
Farrah
And
Fawcett.
now here we are, like the Jetsons, like 2001 Space Odyssey,
Jane
which,
Jetson.
Stanley Kubrick's film was ridiculed as a terrible film. And now it's the most,
Oh,
like
man.
every filmmaker looks at it as like, that's the pinnacle of filmmaking,
Yeah.
these ideas. But nevertheless, that's how we're interacting right now.
Yeah.
And so we can't. And the Jetsons gave us an idea of this, and Star Trek, but that planted the seed in order for us to accept it and accept each other right now. We're accepting each other right now.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
might
yeah,
be
yeah.
so
Real
far ahead
time.
of the curve that we don't fucking realize
We
it.
can't
like,
even know. We don't even know what our kids are going to be doing when they're our age.
No, and it's one of those things where like, future thinkers will tell us that like, basically agree with what you just said, basically.
Damn straight they will. Are there any allowed on my planet?
Bitcoiners want you to believe that owning Bitcoin right now is like living in the frontier days and buying property then. Because back then, for the price of one little house right now, you could
Right.
get 100 acres, maybe 1,000 acres, right? And that's what they're saying is like invest in this currency now while it's in its infancy. But the reality is, the truth of it is that Bitcoin might be the progenitor, meaning the first, but it might not have the longevity. It
Correct.
might not
It'll get
make
erased,
it there.
erased
It's
again,
still a
depending
fucking
on
gamble.
whoever
Yeah.
corporation comes up with the tech to perfect it a little more.
Yeah, all that shit. It's like, it's a digital gold. It's like buying gold, like physical gold. Bitcoin is trying to present itself like that, but it's already been forked. There's a bunch of bullshit around Bitcoin, and
It's more
and
like
the more
the digital wagon wheel.
the more you look into it, the more you realize that it's like, damn, this is like, man, there's a lot of hoopla around here. And the reality is that the future is still to be determined. And there's gonna be things that everybody gets. It's like pop fandom, like certain things become popular for a certain period of time and then they phase out. There was fucking, like, look at Facebook now that's everybody's migrating to Instagram, including myself. Prior to that, it was what
Twitter,
was it prior to Facebook?
AOL.
No, what
Twitter.
was the other one before that? Before
MySpace.
Facebook, MySpace.
Thank you, BB.
Q
We've
Link.
seen them all. Yeah, it goes back to Q. It's like these different evolutions of
Connectivity.
groupisms, connectivity, and there will be a social currency that's relevant within that community. But is it relevant in the community at large via our organic organisms? I'm a little drunk. Yes.
Yeah.
We all exist as organic organisms right now. We are moving towards our future. We will all eventually. We're cyborgs right now. We are cyborgs.
Look at us. I'm looking at you, cyborgs.
When we were born, everybody I'm looking at right now, we are simply organic. Now we're cyborgs. We don't have this implanted in us yet. But we hold it every fucking day.
We look to it for answers.
Organic brain. We have our
all-knowing rectangles.
Yeah, we have our organic brain. And we have an
exterior brain.
Oh yeah, I mean, just a computer. Turn off dragon lamp.
Yeah. Bam.
Ooh, I like that lighting.
Part of you, man.
Maybe.
Right.
Oh, that is some good lighting.
You should actually rock that on the show.
Right there.
Yeah.
Maybe get some little pin lights to light up each of the little spider
comics,
things, and then that'll be fucking.
Right,
that'll
right.
add that depth. That'll give you the layer of depth. But anyway,
then you'll
point
go viral.
is that man, all of our little worlds are disconnected and connected at the same time. Right the fuck now, they are.
Mhm.
There's so many lives going on. See, I always love that. He's like, so many lives.
So
I don't know, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that?
I don't know. Outside of
It's a
myself somewhere.
fact. Yeah, it's the fact.
So many lives. Yeah, I don't
There's
know.
8
I don't
billion
know. I
8
think we, yeah,
8 billion lives on this planet.
so many choices, so many lives to experience.
Worlds within worlds
Yeah.
on this world, on this
Yeah.
inarguably organic planet.
Yeah.
Janet.
All these perspectives.
It's a rock made little blue dot with these organic organisms, but we all created our own, and so it's here.
Micro,
It's
macro.
cerebral. Yeah, it's connections and little worlds. And why is it so strange that people are going to buy land in an NFT where they're plugging in this and buying into? I'm going to keep myself healthy. I'm still going to treadmill, but I'm not looking at this wall. I'm in a totally different world.
Yeah.
And I'm not running that world. You know, I'm keeping my body healthy, but like I don't know, there's things that we're going to that are the future that we're not going to see, and I don't know what that is. But it does make sense to me, and I can see us moving towards what I believe is like highlighted in like some Terminator films, you know, or like this thing like where our future selves, which are more cyborg, start, you know, want to go back. And I don't know. I mean, it's just it's
I think
complicated,
inevitably
but I
the
think we're
planet
gonna.
is going to eliminate the what's been infecting it, and that is the
Harming
thought.
it. Well, what's
Infecting
harming
it.
it? I mean,
It-
infecting it.
Listen, let's
What does that mean?
hold on. There's a thought realm, and then there's the organic realm. It seems, and whether one exists because of the other, who's to say? Because we're limited, and because we come from the point of the thought realm, and we think that actually we're in this organic realm. But I don't fucking know. What is a planet? Is it an idea? You know what I mean? What are those other planets out there? They're just really ideas of pinpoints of light. And what is light? Light is information. So, you know, and first there was the word and then there was light. So, first there's a vibrational pattern and then there's a light source of information. So, again, it comes down to, I keep going back to we're the stuff in between and we're not actually even a part of this rock because the rock doesn't actually exist.
Oh wow,
Outside, it's kind of
Phoebe, you got to
outside of
speak on
us.
this next. I'm going to stay silent. You got to speak on this. I want to hear it.
No,
But
going.
I,
Keep
I
going,
think
Lamont.
we're
Keep going,
going to
Lamont.
eventually, you know, that's
I like
why I
it.
think
I
all
like
these
what you're
other
saying.
planets have been looking. We've, you know, the human masses, you know, have looked to them as gods or entities because they're a vibrational idea or an information source. And that's what astrology is based off of as well, is that these orbs vibrate at a certain resonance and pattern and emit light or reflect the light that is information. And so, you know, we're just like this little microbe on this orb. And I don't even know if we're actually even a part of it or being poisoned by it or being absorbed into a pendulum of somebody else's vibrational idea. And until
Yeah,
we
I was
kind
just
of
watching.
become, you know, sentient and comfortable in our own idea, we're not going to resonate off of this planet into another dimension of alliance.
Yeah, I was just watching a show just recently about different species on the planet, and that, you know, some of the things that don't get talked about at all are some of the things like tardigrades. You know, like
Right.
tardigrades that do exist here on Earth, but
They're
that
amazing.
but they're like one of they're like they're not the only one. There's a couple other ones, but there are a few life forms here on Earth.
If you don't know, everybody look up tardigrade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That
they exist through the universe.
yeah, and that they didn't
TARDIGRADE.
they didn't start here. You know,
Mhm.
that they don't share any commonalities with any other life form on Earth. Most other life forms, humans share genetic backgrounds with fish and monkeys
Mushrooms. My
and mushrooms.
fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But tardigrades share nothing. Nothing in their genetic makeup matches anything on Earth. Nothing. Which means
And that says what?
which is the only explanation is, well, not the only, but one of the most commonly accepted possibilities is that they came via some sort of comet
Bumped
or
into us.
meteor or something. Yeah, something that burned through the atmosphere, survived, impacted, and some life on that comet remained and then propagated. But whatever it is, it means that life formed somewhere else. It formed somewhere else. And I actually think he nailed it with the infected as far as humans go, because you can't say we're making our planet healthier, at least not from our own standpoint. We're not making it in any way more,
Failing at
self-sustain.
that.
Yeah.
We are so out of alignment with
Oh,
our
yeah.
environment. We can't survive. Look at
No.
us.
Yeah.
We can't
yeah.
survive in the weather. We have to build skins outside of our skins, i.e., houses, to
which is
survive the
becoming
elements.
more and more important, because the weather is becoming more and more. It's moving more and more towards the two extremes.
But the tardigrade can
that's
can
what you
survive
see.
anything.
That's why the whole mistake was the global warming name. Okay.
It's weirding, global weirding. But
Yeah,
nevertheless,
tardigrade's virtually indestructible.
Tardigrade is
it's
God.
our planet
And then
trying.
you've got that
It's a
fucking
cough.
what is it?
Our planet is coughing,
immortal
trying to
jellyfish?
expel us out of its lungs.
I don't know what an immortal jellyfish is, but the tardigrade can resist
I'm sorry, I didn't
extreme
hear it,
heat
BB, I
and
was talking.
extreme cold. But it is microscopic. But it
Yeah,
looks
just
like a little. It looks like a little creature with like a little cone nose, like a little short, little stubby. Oh yeah, it does. It does have that, doesn't it?
It has six limbs.
But
What is it?
Or is it
but
8?
think about it. It exists in our world, worlds within worlds within worlds. Like not only just on our consciousness as humans, we are a collective of organisms, bacteria, millions of them. If we're gods, it's because billions of bacteria live in our gut,
We have a
and our
universe
gut is the
inside of us.
center of our health system. I mean, this is fucking gets to crazy levels, and it's all science based. That's what I love about it. It's like this conversation, no point has divulged from look it up. Like look it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's science. And
There was
I don't know what a tardigrade's doing. I don't know how it benefits us or not, but
it's
maybe
playing
BB
some
does,
role.
but it's playing
It's created
doing
by it, so
something.
it's serving some purpose. It came from a purpose. It's serving some purpose, and whether it's in an environment, it's natural born environment or not, it stemmed from fulfilling some purpose, right?
Mhm.
That's how it works, And there was one series. What the hell was it called, BB? We watched it, but Morgan Freeman, of course, narrated it. But it was the first time that I ever heard that our universe interacting as a living force, as a living organism, because of its circulation and the way things moved in it, just the way the human body has universes inside of it that are interacting and doing so much, all these planets, if you will, right? And interacting societies and species warring against each other, trying to find balance and trying to coexist or create, some environment. And our universe has a conscious. Is our universe conscious? I think is what it came down to. And it was, but the idea of consciousness is that it has a purpose and a circulation and a cycle, and what I can't remember. What it is.
Motion. There's a tug. Somebody's tugging and somebody's pulling. It's tug of war
Everything
on so many different levels.
Yeah. So whether we are, in these bodies or actually much larger much, much larger than these bodies. And we think our consciousness involves inside of our brain, or that our brain actually is just a little GoPro, that
Yeah.
we're experiencing outward, which is, science is actually proving this every day, that our consciousness is much larger than our perceived tiny form.
Just like the space in what you're saying, like the space in
space in
between is
between.
much larger than the actual identifiable nucleus, proton,
What
electron.
light bounces off of and giving us information of our perceived surroundings. It's like, look at those telescopes that are, looking out into the universe, and what do they see? How many different rays and radiation? How many different eyes are they looking with in order to perceive the universe? UV, X-ray, gamma, all of these different ways.
Stuff that we can't see.
No, but there are
we can see
insects
them,
on our
we can
planets that
translate
do, and
them.
there are animals on our
True.
planets that do, and that's why we look to them and revere to them
Man.
to keep us safe around us, because they're perceiving the unseen
Right.
universe, the
Yeah.
unseen to the human eye universe,
Right.
and there are protectors. The cat, the dog, the wolf, the dragonfly, et cetera, et cetera. They perceived the unseen to the human eye
To
universe.
us, yeah. Unseen
And so
to
we
us.
look to them as information givers.
Yeah, to see
They're going to tell us what the season is going to do. My dog freaks out, 5 minutes before the storm hits,
Oh yeah.
and when I open up a peanut butter jar 3 rooms away, it comes into the kitchen. You know what I mean? Just the way, a shark can smell blood from 3 miles away, or that a whale can communicate with a click to the other side of our fucking planet.
Wow.
Because water is a better conductor of sonic information, vibrational information.
As long as it sounds like that. It's not human voice.
300 times the rate? I can't remember. Something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, it's something high.
So we're so fucking limited.
It's fucking
And so that's why
binary almost.
earlier in ancient religions, there are different totems for each animal's intellectual purpose and otherworldly perception. We just perceive one exterior belief of what that object is, but we have no idea what its mind is doing, and we have no idea to perceive what it's perceiving. We can't look through its eyes, to perceive what it's perceiving, and we can't look into its mind. We don't believe we can look into its mind to perceive what it's doing, and we only believe we can look into each other's minds through audio communication of a limited language, depending on how you were raised in your culture. But yet there's music, and there's eye cues, and there's social cues, and there's physical cues. There's a smile versus a sneer. There's pupil dilation. There's so many different ways to communicate that we're so limited. And I think in the end, it's, watching the children evolve in all things electric, as Bowie said, and that's what watching the world evolve is the more we align with electricity. Look how our society is evolved in the last 100 years since we started harnessing the power of electricity, which our bodies are electric, our brain currents, all information from our fingertips to our pinkies. It's all electrical impulse and symbols that you can disrupt easily.
Polarities.
It's real easy to disrupt it if you sleep with your phone to your head, or you sleep next to a power line. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, it's just information being broken up. And that's why birds are being fucked up by 5G, and they don't know how to align with the electromagnetic pulses of our planet. And that's where something called ley lines existed in millions of years ago. It's these civilizations were tapped into our power source, and civilizations grew not
the polarity
just next to
of
a
the
river,
earth,
but
the
next to
nodal
a power
points?
point of our planet.
Not just the water
To
flow
share
of the
information.
planet, but the nodal points, like electrical nodal points.
Information points.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
Fellas, I'm gonna have to bail out here shortly.
Yeah, me too. I went too far. Gone
Me
too far.
But you
I
know,
mean, hey, look it up, people. Everybody watching this and
look it up. That's our new one.
We're not here to look. We're not here to explain
Google that.
everything to you. We're just trying to
Google
turn
that.
you on.
Mhm.
And
Do
BB,
your research.
we're gonna roll credits, and then I hope you hang out
Ad
and
hoc
tell me
wants to hear the
something.
dirty tales.
Well, I mean, you know the
Behind the scenes.
BTS
Of inside the
shit,
scene.
Yeah. I mean,
I have to bill for real tonight. I have a meeting tomorrow. But there will be
All
tales.
right,
There'll be more
right,
stories.
okay.
I'm
You're
going
gonna
to
be gone for 2 weeks, though.
I'm going to be gone for the next 2 Wednesdays.
Son of a.
That's a Wednesday, though. You just took up a different time that doesn't exist on a Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll be gone for 2 Wednesdays, and then I'll be back on the. Well, I'll be back in time for the 3rd Wednesday, so whatever. September.
Okay.
I'll be back for September 28th,
Hmm.
and then that's it. I'm here for the rest of the year for every Wednesday.
There you
So,
Groovy.
Okay.
folks,
All right, love
Word.
you, bros. Great,
Been a
great
while.
convo.
since we've gone that long,
I feel like anybody that watched this episode, at least the last hour of it, will be
Enlightened.
Yeah, they're going to be better off in the progeny of our civilization, or not. And I'm going to go masturbate. So good night, everybody.
Wonderful. All right. You release your energy into the world, human beings.
I'm scarred for life, but I'm set for life, and I'm set for life, but I'm scarred for life, and I'm coming at you. I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking psycho, fucking insane.
That's the fucking chorus right there.
you nailed it,
That is
dude. You
good.
nailed it.
Yeah.
You nailed it. You visually transformed into fucking Joe Rogan. There,
You
dude.
did.
You fucking,
Oh, Joe Rogan. Yeah.
yeah,
okay.
you did. You visually transformed
That's
yourself into Joe Rogan. It was amazing.
Big